On this week's episode, we continue our double show, double guest extravaganza with the rest of our D23 Expo coverage and a little bit of San Diego Comic-Con sprinkled in. Marvel, Star Wars, and animated adaptations, oh my! What does Batman have to do with Dumbo? Did we hear from Ron Howard about Han Solo? Who wins in a fight, Hulk or Thor? All these important questions will be answered, including the most important one of all, is Darkwing Duck coming to DuckTales? Also, the Big Hero 6 series gets a theme, Thanos throws a planet, Phineas and Ferb returning, and more on this almost deleted episode of the MousePIRE Podcast. Hi, I'm Anthony.
I'm Shadow. I'm Diggs.
And welcome to MousePIRE, your source for Star Wars, Disney, and everything in between. This is the podcast where both empires collide.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. The Apprentice lives.
What is this?
In the tiki 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 room, all the birds sing words and the flowers croon. In the tiki 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 room.
Made you look.
Hey, we're back again. It felt like I never left this place. I don't know.
Haven't.
Oh, I haven't. Dan's still here. Tim's still here.
Are we recording 2 episodes at once?
I think we are. And Anthony's over there on his phone like always.
Ooh.
I was just trying to find the first thing we're talking about over here.
He has his phone and the iPad.
There
And
you go.
and
his notes.
And
Oh, wait. I'm not gonna.
Well researched.
I'm not
He
gonna
has
be,
his nuts?
I'm not going to be left out. I got mine going too.
Okay, right on. Right on.
I'm trying to find that GoFundMe page.
We're talking about Michael's GoFundMe page for his deluxe annual ass.
Annual ass.
His annual ass holder.
Whoa!
An annual ass holder?
Yeah.
Advertise that on GoFundMe?
Hey,
Why does he get to have a GoFundMe?
I thought it was offer up.
Hey, just real quick, don't mind if we're a little bit more freewheeling on this episode because we're not constricted by as much time, except for however much time you want to be here. But other than
No, we're gonna go quick.
All right, so we're going to get through the D23, and we're going to be talking about some animated and TV stuff from Disney and all that kind of stuff. So Anthony has some stuff over here that he wants to talk about. So,
I got stuff, I got announcements, I got clips, I got trailers.
but he has no snacks. What the hell?
Yeah. And
Without snacks, there is nothing.
Yeah, D23, moving right along to part two of our D23 coverage, and this will also include news from this past weekend's San Diego Comic-Con. Now, while there wasn't a whole lot of Disney news coming out of Comic-Con, there was a few things that came out of there, a few announcements, and a big Thor Ragnarok awesome trailer that came out of it, which we will get to in a little bit.
Hey, I saw it.
I'm going to watch it right now.
There was quite a bit of things that came out of Comic-Con that was not Disney related, and I would love to talk about, but this is not a those things podcast. So
That's not what we're here for.
that is not what we are here for. So what's happening?
He's
Oh.
watching Thor.
I'm going to watch at least the visuals.
Okay, he's gonna watch the visuals of Thor, so that way when I play the audio, he could sync it up in his head later on.
Yes.
But we will get to that in a little bit. Right now, we're going to talk some TV and animation, mostly animated TV and animated movies. First off, we're going to start with some Marvel TV. Well, the Guardians of the Galaxy cartoon, which is going on to its third season. Third season was announced, and more importantly, it was announced that the season will be called Guardians Breakout, and it will be an animated telling connection to, yes, the Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout attraction. And I've
not seen this show, but who does the voice of Peter Quill?
It is what is his name from Boy Meets World, who was the voice of Batman Beyond? Will Friedle Will Friedle is the voice of Peter Quill, Star-Lord. So, and in the cartoon, in the first season, I watched a little bit of the first season. The Collector had already shown up, and the Grandmaster, so it was interesting that both of those characters had already been introduced in the first season. But moving to the third season, it is obvious that the third season of the cartoon will have a huge connection to what's being called the Marvel ride universe or attraction universe or whatever the hell it was that they're choosing to call it. I forget what it was that who was it this? Oh, James Gunn, director of Guardians. James Gunn called it the Marvel attraction universe or something like that, and how all of the attractions will be connected, including Iron Man in Shanghai, not Shanghai. No, Hong Kong. Basically, all of the attractions will be connected at some point, and somehow the Guardians Mission Breakout Season 3 will tell the story of what happens before the ride, during the ride, and after the ride, and hopefully it includes the events of the Star-Lord Awesome Dance Party.
But isn't before the ride you're in line?
We're talking about Epcot.
We are.
Right? We're talking about Epcot?
What?
We're talking about Epcot?
Epcot.
The new Guardians ride at Epcot?
We're talking about our Guardians ride, Mission Breakout.
Well, yeah, you go through the collectors. I mean, it's like standard
procedure.
procedure.
It's going to tell what they're doing before, not us. It's telling it's talking about what the Guardians of the Galaxy are doing before
they're
the
in jail because they got collected.
Well, it's going to show how they got caught, probably. And then it's going to show how Rocket gets out, and then it's going to show Rocket getting back in, and it's going to show stupid
bunch of idiots in
line who end up helping them, and then it's going to show what they do when they break out, and then Star-Lord forgetting his radio and having to go back and get his radio.
Somebody floating in the elevator.
And having a Michael Jackson dance-off with a bunch of people in the audience. And then it's going to show them leaving
people
again.
People with Groot feeling wood.
This all sounds really familiar.
You think Harold will be in there?
Like I've lived it.
Hey, that's a good one.
You think Harold will be in there?
Yeah, there's going to be a little Harold cameo. Yeah. That'd be cool. So, yeah, Mission Breakout, it will be Guardians of the Galaxy animated Season 3. Moving on to the upcoming brand new Spider-Man cartoon coming to Disney HD. I was trying to look up what the...
HD or XD?
XD. Did I say HD, didn't I? Yes.
I'll forgive you.
Stand by a second because I'm trying to get to when that starts.
Hey, while you're doing that, did they ever release the... I started watching those, but I couldn't keep up.
Which one?
With all of those series, I just couldn't keep up. With the amount of
the Guardians, I couldn't keep up with everything else I was watching. I was like, I'll watch it when it comes on Blu-ray or something.
Did they ever do that or Netflix or anything?
On the Guardians?
Yeah.
I know it came on DVD, but I don't know if it ever came on Blu-ray. But I'm not sure if it's. I'd have to check to see if it's on Netflix or not.
That's not that hard. I should do that.
Right. So the new Spider-Man animated will be debuting on Saturday, August 19th on Disney XD with an hour-long premiere, as well as on the Disney XD app. So with that announcement about the Spider-Man cartoon and its debut date, we also get a confirmation all of the cast, which is mostly all newcomers, except for a couple particular exceptions, including the voice of Uncle Ben, which will be Patton Oswalt, who we talked about a couple weeks ago.
I like those guys.
And one of the villains named the Jackal will be voiced by Bender himself, John DiMaggio. And Beast Boy from Teen Titans, Scott Menville, will be playing Doc. He will be voicing Doc Ock.
Doc Brown?
But other than that, I am not aware of any of these other names. But look for that coming August 19th. That I will assume, will end up being part of a block along with... I don't know if that's going to be a block along with DuckTales or not. We will get to DuckTales in a little bit, because we know that DuckTales is going to be premiering around that same time. But then we have to wait for the actual series to start.
Yeah, I got news about that, because I did go to the panel. I remember you mentioned it on last week's episode.
Okay, good, because I will be getting to that actually next. Sticking with the TV news, let's talk about some D23 DuckTales news, which included that we will be getting Ludwig von Drake
Cool.
Like that guy. He
That's
will be
right.
coming to DuckTales, and he will have some sort of sordid past with
they addressed
Scrooge
that.
and Mrs. Beakley.
They addressed that in the panel, saying that it was almost going to be kind of like a flashback scene.
Right.
Because you got Gyro Gearloose, correct?
Right.
Who's the tinkerer, the inventor in the DuckTales universe. So they are going to throw Ludwig von Drake in there as some kind of a throwback scene or flashback.
Right.
Some
That's
kind-
very,
something
very
like
exciting. What was the other? What else do you have?
What else do I have? As far as that, they are going to do an episode that is kind of the series kickoff, and then the actual premiere. So it's two different things.
Right.
Somebody asked about Duckworth, actually, because Duckworth hasn't been mentioned a lot. The butler.
Yes.
Duckworth is there. You will see Duckworth, and they were talking about how there's a lot of Easter eggs from the original series to be looking for. So take those episodes and do that. And they're talking about making a couple of one of the things that they liked about the original series, and I did too, growing up watching that, was that a lot of those episodes were more than one part. They were 2, 3, 4, 5 episodes. The original movie, I guess, was 5 episodes. So you're going to see some flashbacks to that kind of stuff. A couple of episodes that make up a storyline. Everybody that's in the cast seems to be really into it and kind of taking it back because they all had a love for it as a kid. So it should be really good. The panel was really good. We were able to actually get some patches that I could put on a jacket.
Oh, nice! I never saw pictures of.
I'll take a
never
picture
knew
of it and
that.
show them to you.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
the one we got in the panel was actually Uncle Scrooge, and then we were instructed to take that one and go over to the money bin, dirty money bin, and to get another one who had the 4 kids. So we have Huey, Dewey, and Louie, and Webby. Webby is going to be something different, like you've never seen. They showed
you have
us
this
that
picture that you took.
No, I don't. I'll ask my brother for it. I'll text him right now.
Well, I can imagine Webby being extremely different because of who's doing the voice, Kate Minucci. I believe it's how you say her name.
Roger's girlfriend.
Yes, Roger's ex.
Roger's ex-girlfriend,
one of Roger's many exes. She is from Garfunkel and Oates, the small one from Garfunkel and Oates.
The blonde or the brunette?
The brunette.
The brunette.
The skinny one.
Yeah, the real
Yes.
thin one. Yeah.
And she is very, very funny.
Mrs. Beakley looks like she's going to be an interesting character, too.
Yeah, we were
I saw her
mentioning last week
I
about
saw her
how...
at Walt's Barn, actually.
Oh, that's
Oh,
interesting.
the actress?
Oh, that's interesting. So, yeah, we were mentioning a couple weeks ago about how Mrs. Beakley, or last week, how Mrs. Beakley is looking kind of buff.
Yeah, she looked a lot like the preview that they showed us. She looked really buff. They showed us a sneak peek, which is online now. So I don't know. It's about maybe 3-4 minutes
Is that
long.
the clip with Launchpad?
Woo! Oh, I'll have to look. I don't remember. Did I see Launchpad in that? I don't remember. Well, you know what?
I don't know if the clip they released in the clip
I'm gonna. You know what?
saw
I'm
was
actually
the
gonna.
same.
I'm actually gonna confess to you that I haven't watched the one because I thought it would be the same. But if you're saying that, I don't know now. They showed an extended clip with Webby playing with the boys, and that's how I know she's gonna come off kind of like a badass, a little bit of a badass. So I'm gonna actually have to look that up, and I'll get back to you here about that part. But yeah, that's what we kind of learned there. Everybody's just, like I said, is just really into it. It was really funny. All of us laughed, of course, because we're originals. My daughter was there, who's 11, and she was laughing because I don't think she's ever actually seen the original because it's not like they show it. So it should be interesting. Looking forward to it.
Blasphemy.
I can't wait for Care Bears and Tailspin.
Yeah, it's Tailspin.
I somehow ended up with, we won't discuss how, I somehow ended up with 2 of the coins.
I was going to say that. Did you hear last week's episode how he was taking coins from the money bin?
Oh, yeah, I did actually.
Well, they didn't say not to.
Yeah,
and
well-
when they did, I stopped.
I'm still mad about it because of the way they operated it. Nobody could get in.
I know, it's crazy.
That's dirty.
Yeah, so Scrooge McDuck himself, David Tennant, was unable to actually be there.
Yeah, I was looking forward to
for
seeing him.
the D23 panel while everybody else was there, but we had known, and I had announced a few weeks ago ahead of time that he would be making it to the San Diego Comic-Con panel, which he was definitely there.
They did show a video of him addressing the D23 crowd. So
Yes,
we got
there
that.
was a video of him. I have the video, but it's not very good, and so I will not play it. But I just wanted to make a comment that quote from David Tennant about Scrooge how he feels about Scrooge and how he will be portraying Scrooge. He sees Scrooge as a Indiana Jones with a beak.
Whoa.
I can see it.
That's more like what I think about the Tailspin guy. What's his name?
Baloo?
No. The pilot. Launchpad.
That's
McQuack. No?
That's not Tailspin.
Not from Tailspin.
That's not?
That's
Baloo
DuckTales.
is the...
I thought he... Okay, it's just been a long time.
It's okay. And also at San Diego Comic-Con, it was alluded to at the D23 panel and hinted very heavily, but it was not confirmed until San Diego Comic-Con that, yes, he that flaps in the night, Darkwing Duck, will be coming to DuckTales. No word on if it'll just be him or how he'll show up. They better have his theme song.
What was his partner's name? The duck he was always around?
Launchpad?
Oh, that's right. Trying to remember back.
Or his daughter.
I'm trying to remember if they alluded to it, and I want to say they did. Because when they did the Q&A, people asked stuff, and
people kept asking, and they kept saying, "Well, we'll see."
Yeah, right. But the way they said "we'll see," if you saw him in person, it's kind of like he's gonna show up.
Right. That's like, well, yeah. So then finally at the San Diego Comic-Con panel, they didn't mess around anymore. They just said, "Yeah, he'll be on." So we got the confirmation of that. So that is awesome. DuckTales, like I said, will be coming on also next month. Stay tuned for the dates on that.
So next month you'll get the kickoff, and then you'll get the season premiere the following
in
month.
September.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's how that works.
Yes, and that is as we talked about a couple weeks ago. It will be premiering, and it'll be playing for 24 hours straight on Disney XD. So if you miss it throughout that whole 24 hours somehow, then you probably need to be home more. I don't know. So besides those, we also got the theme song and the official first look at the Big Hero 6 animated series, which was announced last year, and we had talked about that when it was first announced. Well, now we finally got the first official look at the characters and everything, and the theme song for that.
They
Hello, I am Phoenix.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Yeah, so there's no talking in that. I hadn't watched it. I did not know there was no talking in that.
That's
So,
actually the
it's
first
a
thing they showed us
theme
at the
song,
panel, actually.
Right.
I
Yeah.
much prefer the DuckTales theme song.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Or rewrite history.
But you can definitely see from this this little theme here and their opening that all of the characters from the movie will be reappearing in the TV show. I do not know anything about who is doing voices or anything for that. But we do have all of the original characters from the movie, including Fred, coming back for the TV show. And then one more announcement that came out of San Diego Comic-Con relating to Disney TV, the show Milo Murphy's Law, which is on Disney XD and stars Weird Al Yankovic, which I had wanted to watch that show, but I kept forgetting, and I still forget. But I will not forget when this happens, because in 2018, being that they are created by the same people, we will be getting a Milo Murphy's Law, Phineas and Ferb crossover.
Oh, really?
In 2018 sometime.
Ooh.
Because Milo Murphy's Law was created by the same guys who did Phineas and Ferb. So we will be getting a crossover.
Hey, real quick, the sneak peek that I saw is different from the Comic-Con one. I haven't seen this Comic-Con one.
Okay.
For DuckTales, we're talking about.
Right.
Yeah, so I'll have to watch this later. But yeah, it is
Yeah, I
different.
don't know if the sneak peek that you say you saw, I don't know if we saw that.
Yeah, no, it's the kids playing.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing that.
They're playing with dart
Definitely.
guns in the house.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, okay. So there's you're out there. There's two different sneak peeks that were shown. One at
Speaking of-
D23 and one at Comic-Con.
Okay. All right. So moving on to news from the Disney animated panel on Friday. Got quite a bit. But you know what? It didn't seem like as much as what we usually get. And a lot of it seemed to just kind of go under the radar because there wasn't a lot of huge announcements or cool things. Mostly they were just like, oh, well, here's some stuff. I mean, for people that weren't there wasn't a lot really to talk about. The main thing is John Lasseter announced a brand new untitled Pixar film that is going to be set in a suburban fantasy world. There was just kind of like some art of that, which I couldn't even find. Apparently I didn't even post it. But it's kind of, I don't even know what suburban and what fantasy. So there's not a lot of details on this. If anybody that was at that panel has any more details on this that I couldn't find, please email us, mousepire@gmail.com, and let us know, because that is the one thing that I could not find really any details on. Did get to see some and find out more information about Incredibles 2. We found out that Incredibles 2 will literally take place, seconds, I believe, after the first Incredibles ended.
Right, when the other villain popped up out of the ground, right?
Right, and it's minutes after the epilogue of Incredibles.
Big word.
Right. And apparently at this point, at the beginning of Incredibles 2, the family still does not know that the boy has powers.
Oh, that's right.
I say the boy because I don't remember his name.
Jack.
Jack, yes. That they do not remember that Jack has powers, or that they do not know that he has powers, not remember. They do not know that he has powers yet, so that will go off into a whole new adventure on that. And, of course, Incredibles 2 opens in theaters June 15th, 2018. Now, we also got the news that originally Toy Story 4 was planned as a co-director with John Lasseter and Josh Cooley. Lasseter officially announced that he was going to be stepping down as co-director of Toy Story 4, and that Josh Cooley will be directing that movie solo, and that Lasseter was probably just going to be working on that other movie, I guess. I don't know if that's why he's stepping down from working on Toy Story 4. I would guess that it's to work on that other suburban fantasy world movie. I do not know.
They didn't really give us much information about that, huh?
No, they didn't. That's what I mean. It was a lot of stuff that wasn't really going on as far as the Pixar end of it. Now, one other thing before I get to a couple of the main things. Disney Toon Studios will be releasing their first movie in a while, I guess. The last thing that they had was Rescue Planes? Was that their last movie? Rescue Planes? Planes Rescue, Search and Rescue?
Has it been that long?
Wasn't that the last one, though, right? Planes Search and Rescue?
I'm going to be honest, I never remember which one is a
Disney
Pixar movie and
Toons.
which one is a
Yeah, I don't know.
What was Moana? Moana wasn't Pixar, was it?
No, I'm not. I'm talking about Disney Toon.
Oh, Disney Toon.
Disney
yeah, no.
Toon Studios is who does like the Planes Search and Rescue.
Yeah, then I think it was
They
Planes
did
Search and
Planes. They
Fire and Rescue.
They were
That's what it's called. Planes
they
Fire
were
and
part
Rescue.
of Cars, because they're part of Cars is related to that, but they're not made by Disney Toon.
Oh, I know what it is.
So-
Disney Toon does the don't they do the sequels?
I think they do. Yeah, they do.
They do the
They
sequels
also
that-
do
that-
sequels. Yes,
That don't go to into the theater like Fire and Rescue.
Right.
I don't think ever went to a theater.
But the actual movie Planes they also did.
right, I remember that. But I think I'm pretty sure that's what they do. I
So
think
like
they do
at
the
some
sequel to
point,
those movies
and
they
if
know aren't
there's
gonna do as
any
well.
the Cars shorts, I believe.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
And then like
With
the
Mater.
Toy Story shorts also, like the one where they end
Hawaiian
up at,
Vacation.
the one or the one where they end up at McDonald's with the evil
oh yeah,
with the support group of toys
Yeah,
at
yeah.
McDonald's or whatever it was.
with a tiny Buzz Lightyear.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are all Disney Toon Studios. Now, they announced that their next feature will be coming out in April of 2019, and it will be basically, there's some really cool artwork from that. That's all that was shown. It's going to be basically cars, planes, in space. So you're going to have talking space shuttles and stuff.
What about the pigs in space?
Pigs in space!
The Muppet Show.
So anybody who's a fan of the planes and search and
That's
fire
how you-
and rescue,
That's how you know you're going to
They're
have
still
ideas
doing
in
that?
space.
or if they're, have you not been listening?
The planes. Like, so they're still doing planes?
No, they haven't since the fire and rescue one.
Oh, boy, thank goodness.
But now they're moving into space.
Oh, well, that could be a little
See,
more
he wasn't-
interesting.
He wasn't listening. Yes, planes will now be moving into space, and that will be the next Disney Toons feature.
Called shuttles.
coming in. That wouldn't be a bad name, I suppose. They could call it space. Space with faces.
I wonder what the space
Faces-
station. Who's going to
faces in
voice the
space.
space station?
Oh, you know what Disney Toon Studio does? They do the Tinkerbell movies.
Oh, right. That's what else, too. Yeah.
That was the last one that came out. Okay. Yeah, and they do the sequels like that. The ones that are kind of, back in our day, we called them direct-to-video.
Yeah.
Direct to DVD.
All right. So the next thing that was up was Ralph Breaks the Internet. WreckIt Ralph 2.
I like that guy.
You like that guy. We got a few things interesting coming up for that, which comes out November 21st of 2018. We got a new character announced called Yes. That is YESSS. And she will be portrayed by Taraji P. Henson.
I like that girl.
I don't know who that is. Please tell me.
Well, you know, she's in that show that I love and you don't like, and I haven't seen in a while because I have to be over here podcasting and everything. Empire. She's awesome.
She's like the main female lead, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was
kind of whatever about her.
She looks a lot less angry here than she does in any Empire episode.
I like that girl.
So yes, she will be playing a character called Yes. How do you pronounce that? YESSS.
Just the way you're doing it.
Yes.
Yes.
So. Wow. Yes. So she will be in that, and
That's how I pronounce it.
very interesting and exciting. Probably seen that to have done the voice recording for, I imagine, especially for Sarah Silverman, who will be returning as Penelope. Penelope gets a scene where she meets nearly all of the Disney modern princesses. Penelope will meet 8 Disney princesses, and they will all be voiced by the original actresses. That includes Ariel, Belle, Jasmine, Pocahontas, Tiana, Rapunzel, Moana, and Merida. And all of the original actresses have recorded the voice or will be recording the voice. I don't know if they have done it yet, but Sarah Silverman expressed how exciting it was to be in a scene with all of these legendary princesses and all
Pretty
that.
cool.
And also all those same princesses actually had a panel on Sunday where it was a Disney Princess panel, I believe. No, it was on Saturday. I felt sorry for them because their panel was at the same time as the live action panel, I believe, or something like that. I don't remember. All I know is that they had a panel during another panel, and it was really crappy for them. And then, of course, later on, they had also talked about the Frozen 2, and Josh Gad was on hand, as well as Kristen Bell. And then Josh Gad later on, I don't know if you guys saw the picture, later on had the fortune of being able to be in a photograph with all of those princesses that I named, all of the actresses, plus Sarah Silverman and Kristen Bell. So he was in a picture with all of them.
Love and life. Hey, Tim, you know who's got kicked out of that movie too? Snow White. Phantasmic. Oh.
Exactly. Well, the reason they can't have the original Snow White
that's kind
do
of
the
obvious.
thing is because she's like 150 years old.
Also, Josh Gad made an appearance in, I believe, or before this, he had made an appearance in the panel for the Frozofs in the Olaf's Frozen Adventure panel, in which he actually showed up and sang one of the brand new songs from the 22-minute short that will be coming before Coco. I'm wondering if Coco is really short and that's why it has such a long short in front of it. Do you think it's maybe like one of those Disney movies that's only like an hour long?
They have those.
Well, yeah, because do you remember the Winnie the Pooh movie? The one that came out a few years
like
ago?
75 minutes or something.
It wasn't even that. It was an hour and 5 minutes.
Was it really?
Because I remember...
The one that, what's her name, did the soundtrack? What's her name?
I don't know.
Zoe Deschanel?
Yes, the Winnie the Pooh that came out 10 years ago or whatever. Because I remember I was going to go see it, and then I looked at the runtime, and I was like, 63 minutes or whatever. I'm like,
That's not a movie.
I'm not paying full price to see a 1 hour movie.
And 5 minutes as the credits.
Exactly. So it's less than an hour once you take the credits out. So
I did see it. I don't remember that, but I remember being short.
That's not even an HBO hour-long
drama.
Like,
that's the example because I'm specifically remembering choosing not to go see that in the theater because of the runtime. Value.
Yeah, but I usually go to the matinee, so value.
Oh, true.
I think there's been a couple, maybe the first. There's been a couple of Disney movies that I've seen that were like an hour and 17 minutes.
I think Planes, Fire, and Rescue's up there. It's not a very long movie.
Well, I liked it. It was pretty cool.
I didn't see that one. I gave up
I
after the
liked
first
it. I saw
one.
Planes in
the animation was really good with the fire and everything and the trees.
Fire!
Really, really good.
All right. Well, anything else from any of you guys about animation, planes and rescue and...
I've been on a plane.
Oh, yeah.
I've been on a plane.
Everybody who's been on a plane.
I've never been rescued. I was going to say.
If you've been on a plane, email us, mousepire@gmail.com.
I heard Benjamin Bratt came out and did a song from Coco during the thing.
Oh, yeah.
Did he?
That's cool.
I didn't hear that. I didn't see that. That's interesting.
That just makes me think of dun 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 dun.
I still think of Benjamin Bratt in Blood In, Blood Out.
He was like one
that
of the
movie.
original detectives with Lenny Briscoe on
Yeah.
Order. Dun 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 dun.
Yep.
I think that's all I heard.
Okay.
He covered most of it.
Well, we're ready,
Moving on.
ready to move on to some live action.
Whoa.
This is where the business
Patience.
This
Patience.
is where it gets exciting. But you know what? Before we get too exciting, it's time.
What's it time for?
It's time for some Oprah.
Uh-oh.
What if we are here for a reason? What if we are a part of something truly divine? Imagine 91 billion light years traveled like that.
Sweet dreams are made of this.
Your father has accomplished something extraordinary. Also dangerous.
Everybody's looking for something.
He's trapped by a darkness that's actively spreading throughout the universe. And the only one who can stop it is you. Be a warrior.
I'll try.
You're going to be tested every step of the way. Trust nothing.
Darling, time for dinner. Are you lost?
The only thing faster than light is the darkness.
You get a poster, and you get a poster,
Goosebumps.
and you get a poster.
Exactly.
Goosebumps.
I alluded to this last week that when during the live action panel Wrinkle in Time, which I just want to point out, I've mentioned this movie before, and I just want to say that I've had never heard of this book before.
Well, it was a
And
book?
then I was
Really?
extremely shamed. I was shamed for never having.
Well,
heard
you
of
should be.
It was a book, and
Had
then
you heard of it?
in the
No,
80s or
but
90s,
I don't read.
He said that with conviction.
Yeah.
I don't read. No, in the 80s or 90s, they made the movie too, or a TV series.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
If you look up here, I'm gonna look it up.
you look that up.
Research.
The book is literally a classic.
Well, did you know that apparently
It's right up there with like Shakespeare.
Well, did you know that there was 6 books apparently?
No, I didn't know that. I knew the first one.
Oh, there you go.
Well,
So
you know, that's
apparently-
all. It's all about the double trilogy these days, right?
Right, because apparently I was on Audible and I saw that there's 6 books in this series, and I'm like, well, is this like a loose adaptation of all the books? Is it just the first book? I don't know. If you know, yes.
I'm raising my hand. 2003, Wrinkle in Time, TV movie starring Katie Stewart, whoever that is. Oh, wait. No, I don't know him either. Wait, hold on. No. David Dorfman.
I know that.
Wait, who David Dorfman is?
Wait, no,
Did he do those golf books?
Chris Potter, Sean Cullen.
Dwarfs golf.
It's looking like no one anybody's ever heard of. But, that's okay. Apparently it was well done badly.
Hey, at one time, nobody knew Mark Hamill.
Okay. That's a point.
Like, I still don't know any of these people either, but, hey, good for them.
Nonetheless, if you want to get a brush up,
Hey,
right?
Disney paid them to make a movie. That's all that matters.
If you're concerned about how it was done last time, you want to bitch about how it was done this time, there's source material.
All I know is it looks pretty awesome.
Totally.
The director is pretty awesome. It has an awesome cast. I don't know nothing about it, but I will go see it. That comes out March 9th, 2018.
I thought it was a TV series at first, but I'm glad it's a movie.
No, yeah, the book actually is. It's really well known in the science fiction genre, so a lot of people are excited about this.
Not as excited as I would be for a Stranger in a Strange Land movie, but that's another story.
Anything to do with time
That's
travel.
That's a good H. Frehley song too.
Time travel, alternate dimensions. You've got me hooked right away.
All right, so after that, we had a little Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins, y'all.
Mary Poppins, y'all.
Mary Poppins, y'all.
Well, that was one of the best cosplays I saw, actually.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Any of those.
You saw one of those?
Yeah.
At the Comic-Con?
No, at D23.
Oh, I missed that one.
Yes, Mary Poppins was there along with, I believe, Puerto Rican Bert was there too, and I don't know who else was there, actually. To be honest, I didn't really take a lot of notes on Mary Poppins, other than the fact I know that they saw some clips and they released a little 20-second teaser that probably doesn't have anything sound on it.
This is a sequel.
Yes, we have been over that many times on this podcast. It is most likely, not most likely, wait, I said most likely. It is a sequel. They have specifically said that it takes place, I believe they said 1920s-ish.
So a good
20
20 years after the
15,
original?
20 years after the original. So, where the kids now are mostly, I guess they would be grown up.
No, because I think it's about Mary coming to deal with their kids.
Right.
I think is what the plot is.
And now we know that Dick Van Dyke will be playing the son of his character in the son that was played by somebody else in the original movie. He will be playing the elder Mr.
The banker?
The banker.
Yeah.
Which he was the father last time. Now he'll be playing the son, but old like the father was in the original. So basically, he's probably gonna have the same exact makeup on.
Yeah.
It's like, did you see the news today? They're talking about doing Leonardo DiCaprio wants to do a Right Stuff TV series on National Geographic.
Wait, like New Kids on the Block? You got the right stuff.
No, not that Right Stuff. Like the book that the movie about the Mercury astronauts.
Oh,
you don't know the movie, The Right
no,
Stuff?
I don't think I ever saw the movie.
What? Okay.
I know what you're talking about.
Do you?
Yeah.
Hey, all right. And I said my response to that was, well, why don't you just put From the Earth to the Moon out on Blu-ray?
Oh, has it never been on Blu-ray?
The HBO series?
Yeah.
No, it's never been on Blu-ray.
Yeah, they should do that. Well, maybe they will now.
Because I would much rather watch that than watch Leonardo DiCaprio try to be one of the astronauts.
Well, if it goes through, they're going to do
be
it now
Chuck
and make a few
Yeager or
bucks out of
something. I don't know. And it's because it's going to be one of those national... You know how a lot of these shows are trying to do scripted series?
Yeah.
And it's going to be a National Geographic scripted series, and that just doesn't sound Leonardo DiCaprio. All right, so we were talking about Tim Burton and Michael Keaton earlier. Well, that brings me to Dumbo.
You're Dumbo.
Thank you. But never thought we'd ever hear these words in the same sentence. Dumbo, Tim Burton.
Uh-oh.
And the now announced cast of Colin Farrell, Danny DeVito, Eva Green, and Michael Keaton. Now, we had reported before that Michael Keaton, during Spider-Man, he revealed that he's been lobbying with Tim Burton to be in Dumbo and that he wanted to be the villain.
Right.
Well, now we know that he is. Now we know he is in Dumbo, along with other Tim Burton mainstay Danny DeVito.
I have a question.
So we got a little Batman Returns reunion.
Wasn't the villain in Dumbo?
His head, yeah. It was
Like his own inability to...
We discussed this when Michael Keaton talked about that, and we said it was the Ringmaster.
That's as close as you can get.
And I don't mean the
the
Steve Austin persona before Stone Cold. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
Wrestling jokes.
So I don't know. I mean, we got Colin Farrell, Danny DeVito, Eva Green, and Michael Keaton. We don't know how that's going to work out.
Well, Danny DeVito could be the ringmaster.
Danny DeVito could be Dumbo. I didn't mean that mean. I meant he could do a good. I
think he would be Dumbo.
I thought it was Will Smith.
We'll get to that. Trust me, that's next.
But Dumbo doesn't have it. The Disney animated movie doesn't have a clear villain, so to speak.
The villain is his head.
If I remember right, there's not a lot of talking.
I think
in that movie.
I think when we first read this, I think we made the joke that Danny DeVito would probably be Timothy Mouse.
I could see that.
And because Dumbo doesn't speak.
Yeah.
Now during the panel, they didn't have anything to show anybody, but they did have a gigantic model that they wheeled out on the stage of Dumbo, of how he's going to look in the movie, and he just looks like an elephant.
Yeah.
Did he fly?
On a statue.
It was like he was on like
elephant
one of those,
on a statue. I saw that at the Elephant Bar.
He was like wasn't he? He was like on one of those little cones, those little circus cones.
Yeah.
With the stripes on it.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, that should be interesting. We'll see. That will be coming out March 29th of 2019. So you can expect a lot more finding out about that in the next couple years.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
I could have made that in ceramics at the high school.
Well,
all right.
Apparently what happened was they brought it. Well, they showed a video of Tim Burton hanging off the back of the real made Casey Jr. train.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And he's hanging off the back, and he says, "Hey, we don't have a whole lot to show you."
Oh, I did see that picture.
That's this.
Okay,
yeah.
Well, what he said in the video was something along the lines of, "We don't have a lot to show you. Nothing's been animated yet as far as the CGI. However, we do have a scale model of what Dumbo will look like."
Okay. Well, this is what happens.
Wheeled it on stage.
They were like, "We have this video of Danny DeVito dancing around like an elephant, but we don't want to show you that yet. So we got a model of Danny DeVito instead." Oh.
This is what happens when you don't want to wait 6 hours in a line to watch this.
Exactly. So, alluded to it just a minute ago, but we're moving on to Aladdin, which, it's funny. It was just a couple weeks ago, and I chose not to talk about it on this show. Just a couple weeks ago, there was a bunch of rumors going around and stuff that Guy Ritchie and the rest of the crew for Aladdin was having trouble finding their Aladdin and Jasmine.
Yeah, that got squashed quick.
Like literally 4-5 days before this, before D23, there was rumors going around that they could not find their Aladdin and Jasmine. And hey, just days later, all of a sudden they got Aladdin and Jasmine.
Who are they?
Well, Aladdin will be played by Mena Massoud. I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name. I'm sorry. But he was previously seen he was one of the Coast Guard.
He's not Scott.
He was a co-star on Amazon's Jack Ryan TV series. He was raised in Canada, but he's Egyptian.
Well, then. You can't go wrong with Canadians, right?
I was just trying to see Egyptian-Canadian. And then Jasmine will be played by Naomi Scott, who was recently seen in the Power Rangers movie. She was the Green Ranger, right?
I don't know.
Yellow Ranger.
Yellow.
I don't know stuff.
Get it right.
I don't know colors.
Green Ranger was the bad guy.
Oh, right. That's right. So, yes, she was the Yellow Ranger in the recent Power Rangers movie. And she has also appeared on the 33. She was also in the Disney Channel original movie Lemonade Mouth. And way back on that show on Fox called Terra Nova.
Terra Nova was a good show. They canceled
like
that
that
way
show.
too early.
Yeah. I will not argue with that.
Everybody lobbied for the guy from Once Upon a Time to play Aladdin, since Aladdin was cast on Once Upon a Time.
Right. And then, of course, the rumors had been flying for months and months and months. Well, we got the confirmation. Will Smith as the genie. Thoughts?
Not sure how I feel about that.
I think if he can channel Fresh Prince, like the early Fresh Prince,
I 100% agree with that.
Days,
Okay.
then we go. If we're looking at what's that crappy movie he made with his son, Planet Earth or whatever, if we get that Will Smith,
If we get Hutch Will Smith,
yeah,
Hutch, or no, the superhero Will Smith. What's his name?
Geez,
Hancock.
Yeah, there you go.
Hancock
He just
Will
doesn't
Smith.
give a crap about anything.
Right.
Yeah, I think if you can get Fresh Prince Will Smith, then I see it. I could work with that.
I'm a
Maybe
big.
even Independence Day Will Smith.
I'm
no.
a big.
No, never mind.
I'm
Forget I said that.
I'm a big Will Smith fan.
Maybe a little Men in Black,
and I'm a big Genie fan. I'm just not sure how they fit together without the Fresh Prince, but maybe with some "Hey, Uncle Phil,"
Yeah, if he can get that kind of that goofy thing going the way he kind of did there, busting out his dancing when Jazzy Jeff was hitting the drums, then we can. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Remember
yeah,
that? Yeah. Then we can work with that.
Does
That's
this mean that?
Like.
Does this mean that Jazzy Jeff's going to do like a cameo?
There you go.
Like in the scene where the monkey turns into the elephant,
I doubt it.
and they're like entering the city, right?
Disney doesn't care about
if
Just
that-
Jazzy
Yeah,
Jeff's going to be
no.
like the DJ that's part of the wish, right?
No, if anything, we would get a Carlton cameo.
There you go.
Now that'd be good too. Maybe Carlton will be the monkey.
Hey, the connection's there, doesn't
Yes,
it?
Carlton could be the voice of Apu.
I can see that. I can see that working.
Or the bird, as far as bird.
Zazu.
You might see Jazzy Jeff battling Captain Rex over at the Cantina Bar.
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna say. I thought you were gonna see him doing the dueling DJs. Tomorrowland, TLT.
Speaking of Zazu, that's obviously the wrong movie, but they did see. We don't really have anything to announce about Lion King. The crowd who was there got to see apparently the whole first part of the movie, up until sticking Simba out there. Yes, they got to see the opening of the movie from the actual movie, which I heard was amazing, and there was goosebumps, and there was once the cute baby Jesus Simba was held out in front of everybody. There were tears and all kinds of crying and all kinds of stuff, and then they had to get their emotions back before Dumbo.
I heard it was almost shot for shot.
That's what I heard.
And
It
then
was almost shot for shot.
And then Simba participated in ruining Fantasmic.
So I just want to get back to this thing with Aladdin real quick. Thoughts real quick about theories about why this crap was going on around about them having trouble casting, and then all of a sudden they have a cast.
They probably had seen a lot of people, and they just couldn't make up their mind. And the story got out. It makes more sense that they just
So you think the
couldn't
story
make up
got
their
out,
mind.
and then they cast these two people within
We're
4 days?
probably gonna cast them anyway. They were between 2 or 3. You know what I mean?
It could have been as simple as they were between these 2 and 3. Oh my gosh, they can't find them.
Yeah, they can't find it.
Yeah,
they ask them, "Who is it?" "Oh, we're not sure yet."
Not
You
sure
know, they're
if it's
trying
this
to be
one or that
coy. They're trying to be coy, right? They tell the Hollywood Reporter, "I don't know, we haven't found them yet."
That's
they
that
can't find them. You know,
second and third audition.
right?
Yeah.
It's like I don't think they wanted to cast like heavy hitter actors, right? Nobody.
Well,
there
I was going to allude to that because you didn't. I know she was the Yellow Ranger, but it's not exactly a household name.
right.
So maybe it has something to do with
Well,
that.
especially since everybody hasn't seen that movie. She'd be more of a household name than the guy would.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think they were obviously banking that Will Smith would keep everybody distracted by whoever they cast. It just all seemed really weird to me, like as if like there was some, I don't know. It was like the Rogue One reshoots.
Oh yeah.
Or like what's going on right now, Superman
Mustache Superman.
Mustache Superman.
Mustache Wars.
Have you heard about that?
I saw that. What the hell is
You don't
up with
understand.
that? No.
It's because of the reshoots the schedules are overlapping.
They're
with,
doing reshoots for Justice League,
right?
That are required in his contract. But he's also filming the new Mission Impossible movie, and
he has a mustache,
and he's under contract that he cannot shave his mustache that he's grown for the Mission Impossible movies. So they're removing his mustache in post digitally for the reshoots of the Justice League. Sorry, I figured I literally just read the article before I came, so I thought I could explain.
It's basically it's even worse than when they decided to do the shawarma scene, and Chris Evans had to basically cover his face with his hand because he already had a beard. In that scene, in the shawarma scene at the end of Avengers, he's covering his face or something because he has a beard already.
Avengers, that movie's old.
I saw the Avengers 7 times in the theaters.
Damn.
Hey, have
you saw the shawarma scene 7 times?
Yeah. More times than I've ever seen anything sitting down in a movie theater.
All right, so in one more bit of news relating to live-action Disney films, we got the news during the Alan Menken concert on Sunday that he will be teaming up with Puerto Rican bird himself, Lin-Manuel Miranda, and the songwriters from La La Land to do the score for Little Mermaid, the live-action Little Mermaid. So Alan Menken, Lin-Manuel Miranda, and the La La Land guys will be teaming up to do the soundtrack and score for Little Mermaid live action. Which, of course, we don't know anything else about Little Mermaid live action except for that, I guess.
I think there's some fishes in there.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Somewhere under the sea. I don't know.
Before we go into that, I wanted to say one thing about these live action movies.
Okay.
I'm of the opinion that, and this is relating to the cast of Aladdin and these issues that they supposedly having, they're redoing classic films, right? They straight up should not be even going into post-production or pre-production until the cast is decided. Like, they shouldn't even announce the film until the cast is decided. They should be doing all that behind the scenes, and then once they've got it perfect, where they know they have the exact right people, actual human beings, to be the leads in these films, then they say, oh, by the way, we're doing Aladdin with these people.
I blame the internet.
I mean, T.J. Miller could have been the frickin' genie.
You know what? I probably wouldn't have minded that. He's out there enough.
That's what I mean, right? He's got that, whoa, personality like Robin Williams kind of could. Will Smith's going to have to tap into some serious stuff. Obviously, we didn't see these auditions, and that's the kind of thing they would have made Will Smith audition for. They're not just going to give it to him.
Right.
You think, right? You think they would just give it to Will Smith?
I hope not.
I hope not. I think they would have made him audition and say, what are you going to do for the
What's
genie?
the name of that movie? Planet Earth, the one no one saw. The one with his kid.
Planet Earth.
Planet Earth. It was, no one saw that movie.
I just want to go back real quick that I have this clip of the director Rob Marshall for Mary Poppins talking about creating a new story.
I think that would have been dangerous if we were, sort of trying to imitate exactly each piece of the. What we did was create a new story, and of course, Emily Blunt and Lin-Manuel do sing a song together, which is fabulous, and they actually do a few things together in the film. But there is a sense of its own thing. Yeah.
Are you allowed to say what it's called? The song they do together?
I think I'm going to wait on that because I think we're so early. I wish if we're like closer, but we're like Christmas 2018, so I almost feel like I'll just wait on that for a second. Yeah.
Hey, about that, we need to create a new story.
Story for what?
Oh, well, that's what he said in his clip. We felt the need to create a new story.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but what happens when you do that? Everybody complains.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That's
we
not
wanted
how-
something like the old story.
Yeah, it's
and
not
then,
how it
then you
goes.
create a movie that's
I
like
don't know
the
if
old
he means
one.
that like literally because they have said that it's being based on some of the later books. So that's probably going to be like the first Mary Poppins, where there was bits being taken from different books. Like I know that in the original, the going into the paintings was from one book, and then the whole chimney sweep thing was the whole chimney sweep thing was from another book.
All their adventures were like
right. All their
books, right?
adventures were from different books. It wasn't from all one book. So they might do the very similar thing. They take some of the later books and cherry pick cool adventures with Puerto Rican guys out of the first one. No no offense to any Puerto Ricans out there. You guys know that it's a joke, right?
Boricuas. No, I was just thinking about episode 7, how you give everybody, oh, it's just like this. Well, it's like the old one. And then as soon as you don't give them the old one, we wanted to like the other one.
Yeah, don't get me started on that.
Yeah, well, all
That's
right.
a whole nother Oprah rant. All right, so it is time for some Star Wars.
Nothing but
Star Wars.
Everybody set. 3, 2, 1.
Action. Episode 8. Gosh. The first film didn't even have a number.
Ryan has written a story that's unexpected but right. Some of the stuff that happens, people are going to be like, oh my God.
Even though I think I know it all, they throw things at me story-wise I never could have imagined.
And even though everybody knows that it's the second in a trilogy, it feels like its own thing.
Go.
Star Wars is so cool because there's all these creatures and all these amazing visual effects. But all the characters are also so complex.
Ryan needs to work on his Wookiee sounds. It's ridiculous. New director can't even just learn a Wookiee sound.
It feels like the storylines are becoming more established. We're really getting to know these new characters. Also with the characters that we know and love, we're seeing their lives change.
Everything is being shifted in an opposite way to what the audience expected after 7. Ryan's made Star Wars fresh and new.
I'm hoping it'll be a little shocking, but I'm hoping it'll feel real and honest.
It's our most ancient story of good against evil, told in the most fascinating way, but it has a real spiritual depth to it.
It's about family, and that's what's so powerful about it.
It's a wrap!
Well, that sounds awesome.
Excited.
Really
Heck
good.
Yeah. Sometimes these behind the scenes things, like you remember the one that they released for Comic-Con in 2015 for Force Awakens. They released a behind the scenes clip also, and there were people who were like, "Oh, how come we didn't get a trailer?" I'm like, you know what? That behind the scenes clip was way better than any trailer that you can come out with.
Yeah.
'Cause there's so many little things in there showing behind the scenes of it. It's like, ooh, what's that for? What's that for? What's that for? Rather than you get formatted scenes for a trailer.
We didn't get that stuff back in the day. I was at San Diego
Oh, heck
Comic-Con
no.
when they announced the name of the third movie, Revenge of the Sith.
I was in that room too.
I wasn't in the room. I couldn't get in the room.
I was in the room.
But I remember it on the floor. On the floor, all of a sudden, you hear this big thing. What? Everybody.
That's just a
Episode
name.
3 is called Revenge of the Sith. We were so excited about a name, and then the next day, T-shirts were already
No,
there.
not even the next day. They were
Oh,
on
was
the
that
floor
day, huh?
that day.
Yeah, that's right.
Before we even came out of the
I bought
out of
one.
Hall H.
It doesn't fit anymore, but anyway.
Those shirts were selling on the floor before we even came out of Hall H.
Oh
after that
yeah,
panel.
yeah. Because there was, I remember that because there was just a big, all of a sudden, like,
Right.
"Hey, what's going on? Episode 3 is called Revenge of the Sith. Oh my god!
Yeah,
I
that
remember
was that was a great moment. But yeah, these
You like the name of this new movie? Episode 8?
The Last Jedi?
Yeah.
I have no issue with it.
I mean, it implies things.
It implies lots of things, but you know, and it gets back to the whole Jedi.
Just means we have to watch it 15 times.
Well, yeah, of course. I feel like, I feel like this is going to be.
Tell me you didn't watch the beginning and be like, "What does that mean?" And then, "Why is it red?"
Right.
Why
exactly.
is it red?
Yeah, the
Every
whole
other
the
one's been
whole
yellow.
the whole red thing is a big question. Then we got those posters. All those posters came out with everybody bathed in red,
Yeah.
like as if there's just blood everywhere. It reminds me of the marketing for this. Reminds me of it should be the marketing for Twin Peaks or something Guillermo del Toro related, or
I can
or
see that,
something
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Where there's just so much
Crimson
red
Peak.
and blood and all kinds of stuff going on.
All that red reminds me of the sour watermelon churro.
Oh my gosh!
Throwback.
Now, at the beginning of the Lucasfilm segment with Star Wars, Rian Johnson, the director of The Last Jedi, came out and gave us a couple little history lessons about himself that were rather interesting. He gave us the tidbit that he used to work at Disney Channel way back in the day, working on interstitials.
Wiener Schnitzel.
Yes, Wiener
Ooh.
Schnitzel. No, he worked on interstitials. The little things that play in between things.
Oh, okay.
He worked on those. He was
commercials.
he directed. No, I don't know.
I know what you're talking about on Disney Channel.
Commercials. I
Yeah.
get Disney Channel
The
commercials.
last commercial for the channel in a series of commercials.
Right. And
So like the
Ooh, that
commercial,
was
commercial, and then the last one is like something for the channel.
So when I stop my DVR from fast forwarding. Got
Yeah.
it.
So he talks about how he worked at Disney Channel way
Oh, I
back
know.
in the day, and you could tell this was way back in the day because he was working there doing that, and he shouted out at Halloween Town.
So would you say that he's a younger gentleman or an older gentleman?
He's a middle
age,
or like our age, I guess, 40s.
Wait a minute. I'm not there yet.
Sorry.
Couple days.
Who's in their 40s?
I still have a few days.
Shadow.
He's almost 50.
He's almost 50.
Whoa.
So yes, he gave that little bit, and then of course all the cast came out except for Harrison Ford.
Well, he's dead.
Well, I think
he would have just said.
He was but he was already locked up, I think, for Comic-Con because he showed up. He didn't bother to show up for the Star Wars panel, but he did bother to show up at Comic-Con for the with Ryan Gosling for the Blade Runner 2049 panel.
And did he say?
Yeah.
A Blade Runner looks pretty awesome.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
But once again,
Have you heard interviews with Harrison Ford?
Yes.
They're not exciting.
No, not really.
Not particularly.
So what else was,
I expected somebody to say, "I know." Let me down.
All right, so we did get there was quite a bit of interviews and stuff going on. I got a few cool clips from people talking and being interviewed of the Star Wars cast. First, we've got Benicio del Toro, who is jumping around Disney properties between him being in The Last Jedi and, of course, being the collector from Guardians and the Marvel series and being in the ride.
And he's a different person from Guillermo del Toro?
Yes, he is a different person.
Much different person.
Much different person. This will be Benicio del Toro talking about keeping the secrets of the Star Wars The Last Jedi script.
So how did you learn about your character details for Star Wars? Like, how do they brief you on that kind of stuff?
Well, Rian Johnson, the director, contacted me, and he said he wanted to send me the script and read it, and he was I think we met and we talked a little bit about being an actor and what actors do, and we talked a little bit about that, and then he sent me the script and I read the script. The script came in an iPad with a code, very secret, and then I read it, and I was halfway through the script. I don't think my character had popped in yet, and I was already, I want to do this, so it's like Star Wars, so it's a big deal, so I'm kind of like very excited to see the film and maybe be a part of it, and get that whole high, Star Wars high.
All right, next up here we have Kelly Marie Tran remembering her first time with the franchise.
I do remember the first time I watched Star Wars, and it was I was a sophomore in high school, and one of my history teachers put it on. And I know, a good teacher, right? I think while that movie was on, though, I was in my Harry Potter phase, so I was reading Harry Potter instead of watching it, so that's maybe why I didn't see it. Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't totally sink in.
No, it didn't. No. Yeah, and then what happens is you get involved in something like this, and you just start learning as much as you can about the universe and watching all the movies and soaking it all in, and then it comes with this huge amount of respect because it's such a magical thing and something that is so loved. And I think we all want to just do it justice, Awesome. So
thank you so much.
Yeah.
Do you guys think it's better for movies nowadays when you have people who have such respect for the properties that because it's an established property that it makes the movies better because these people have respect for the property?
Yes.
I sure hope so.
I mean, you'd like to think so, right?
Well, that's what, especially because we're talking about Star Wars movies, since all these people, all these directors are actually fans of it, they want to do right by the rest of the fans.
You mean not for instance, like Ewan McGregor?
What's wrong with Ewan McGregor?
Well, he hates the fact that he was in Star Wars.
Oh, well, I mean, so did Alec Guinness, but to him it was just another job at the time. Because, there was no established world and stuff like that. It's just, obviously, even with some of the people, the people who were in the prequels, some of them may not have necessarily been Star Wars fans, just because they should have been. But
everyone should be.
Everybody should be. But, yeah, I mean, now you're getting to the point where people who grew up, that are our age or slightly older or slightly younger are getting into these films now, and they have such a respect for it. And it goes for Star Wars, Star Trek, anything fandom related, any of the superhero stuff and stuff like that, and everything. So it just it's got to bring a more of a something to
ownership.
Yeah. So I mean, because you don't want to mess it up because it's something you love.
Yeah.
Right.
Rather than somebody who's, oh, well, whatever.
I'm just doing it to
I'm
make
just
the
doing
buck.
it. I'm Michael Caine, and I'm just making Jaws 3 because I need a house.
This makes me think of James Earl Jones on The Big Bang Theory.
You like Star Wars?
I love Star Wars.
All right, so next up we got Laura Dern, who was,
I like her.
of course, coming to Star Wars for the first time, talking about how she saw Star Wars for the very first time at the Cinerama Dome and how it changed her world.
Seeing it at the Cinerama Dome at 6 years old, 5 or 6, yeah. And it's standing in, a line for hours waiting to see this thing. And no one really knew what it was, but they said it was beautiful. And it changed my world. I mean, made me want to imagine I was there, invented what play was like for me, and certainly made me want to be an actor. So it's amazing to be part of it now.
And now we have the very tall and very badass Gwendolyn Christie, who, of course, is no stranger to fandom, even before playing Captain Phasma to all of those Game of Thrones fans out there, as Brienne of Tarth. And she is recalling...
Captain Phasma.
Yes, right. Captain Phasma. And she is recalling her first Star Wars memory.
I remember my family showing me the films, showing me A New Hope when I was 6 years old. And I was there was a lot of excitement around it that this is Star Wars. And it certainly didn't disappoint. And what really did strike me was Carrie in the film. Because Princess Leia was a character who was so strong. And I remember being so little, but thinking, she's not like the other women I see in films that I felt often their characters thought, why do they have to play the boring character? Why can't they have more of the fun that men have? And when I was training to be an actor, when I was at school, from when I was 11 years old, I wanted to play all the male parts. So it really inspired me in terms of the way in which I look at the world, the way in which I think our entertainment can be more representative of the world that we live in. And so Star Wars is hugely inspiring to me because of that, also because of the fantasy. Those two droids in the desert just blew my mind. mind because it was so incongruous, it was so bizarre, and this world was so intoxicating. It is a real, continues to be a real thrill for me just to be in the same room as Mark Hamill.
That's funny.
Which is funny because at the panel, they had all came on stage and Mark Hamill came out last. And John Boyega had ended up standing next to Gwendolyn Christie, who, of course, towers over him.
Yeah, she's huge.
And they did like a little play fighting thing, like put up your dukes, and then he just kind of like, okay, well, I know I'm going to get I'm going to get my ass kicked. So, but then Mark Hamill came out, and he came out from the same side that she was on, but he went all the way over to the other side and specifically said that he felt intimidated. He didn't want to stand next to her because he's a little short for a stormtrooper.
That's cute. But he's a little short in general, right?
Yeah, he's kind of on the shorter side.
Right, and speaking of Mark Hamill, here is him remembering auditioning for American Graffiti and Star Wars.
I went out for American Graffiti and didn't get it. I didn't read for it. It was one of those big cattle calls where they just look at you. I didn't meet George Lucas. I think Fred Roos was in charge there, and I just wasn't right for any role. Maybe he remembered me because then I went in and met George for Star Wars, made it past that stage of the process where they're eliminating you just on looks and so forth, and did a screen test with Harrison, who I remembered from American Graffiti. I loved him in American Graffiti. And who knew? I mean, that it's so fateful, that one audition that changes your life forever. Yeah. So I was reading about the Monkees. Mickey Dolenz told that same story. He said, I did 3 or 4 pilots that year. That one got picked up and changed his life forever. So in my case, very much for the better.
He doesn't say what role he auditioned for. I wonder who it was he auditioned for American Graffiti.
Probably the...
Would that have been like Harrison Ford's role or maybe Richard Dreyfuss's role?
I don't think you could do Richard or Harrison Ford's role. Maybe Richard Dreyfuss's role?
Maybe Richard Dreyfuss's role, because I couldn't have seen him...
Richard Dreyfuss is kind of square in that movie.
Right, but I also couldn't have seen... I don't think he would have been... what's the word? To have played...
Badass?
No, I was going to say... what's his face's role?
Richie Cunningham's?
Yes. Ron Howard's role.
Geeky enough?
Yeah, I don't know if he would have been the geeky enough.
He kind of rides that line. He's not quite geeky enough, but he's not
right.
Really
That's why I see Mark Hamill probably could have pulled off the Richard Dreyfuss role, but yeah, I don't know if he would have. He didn't have that. I think Harrison Ford got that role probably because he was older and he could have that presence.
Yeah, he came off as that.
Which is why he ended up getting Han Solo, obviously, because he had more of that adult presence.
Yeah.
Whereas everybody else was kind of, young and stuff.
I like to get presents as an adult.
I like that too.
All right, I got a couple more here. Here is Ryan Johnson talking about his favorite part of working on the film.
I mean, every single day there was something incredible on set. We just finished scoring with John Williams, and as much as every single memory from set, every day there was something around like, I'm going to remember this on my deathbed. Being in that scoring stage with John Williams when he raised that baton and went at it, and feeling that 100-piece orchestra, feeling that music hit you, it was kind of the topper. I mean, there's nothing after that. I'm done.
I mean, would it really get much better than being in a scoring studio with John Williams? To know that you've got to be one of the last people to ever be in a scoring studio with John Williams.
Right, yeah. How old is he? He's up there.
90?
I think we said 90 before.
Right. I think he just had his 90th birthday or something like that.
Old.
So, I mean,
wow.
Whether he dies or whether he stops making music at some point, it's because he's already retired a couple times.
Yeah, but when you're John Williams, you come out of retirement for a couple.
Right. I mean, the people
Indiana Jones,
Star Wars, and Spielberg are the people that get him out of retirement.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, anybody who gets in the scoring studio with him has to know that they are going to be like one of the last handful of people to make a movie with John Williams, and that's something super special for a guy who's been making music all the way back since TV in the late 50s.
Well, let's just hope he lasts through the end of this,
right,
trilogy.
episode 9 at least, and hopefully maybe the next Indiana Jones film or something.
That'd be awesome.
He's 85.
That's not as bad as we thought.
Oh, that's spring chicken.
All right, now I just got a couple more clips here
Poor
from Daisy Ridley, and then we can move on to the next thing. Here, Daisy talks about Carrie Fisher and the weight of playing Rey.
It's an exciting presentation out there for the fans of D23. A little emotional seeing a lot of Carrie in the footage, right?
It's both wonderful and obviously very sad to see the footage because you're like, oh, that was this incredible thing we did together, and then obviously she's not there to enjoy it with us.
2 years ago, you were making the rounds first time around. How different is this experience for you this time, having been through it?
It's weird because I should feel like I know what I'm doing, and I'm still like, oh my God.
Maybe even like a little bit more pressure since the first one was such a success.
It's not the success thing, it's the understanding how the character has connected with people. Because for me, it's like the little girl thing of like parents saying, now I can take my little girl to a film and be sure that what she's watching is right for her. I know that sort of the weight of that. So I just want to make sure people are continuing to connect with her in that way.
Are we gonna the Force Awakens ended with such like big cliffhangers and questions that all of us had? Are those questions going to be answered?
Yeah, some of them will be answered. Things are answered, but I think people will still be like, oh, what's going to happen next?
And in this final Star Wars clip, she talks about missing her buddy, BB-8.
Rey and BB-8 had such a really cool relationship in the first one. What's the relationship that Rey has in this one that sort of feels similar?
Oh, interesting. The thing is, BB-8 sort of represented Rey's first ever friend. And then the rest of the journey, BB-8 was by her side the whole time. And this time, she sort of ventures out to do this thing very much alone. And Luke does not extend what you would call a welcoming hand to her. So the relationships are very different. But she gets reunited with BB-8, and that's what is wonderful.
You know what?
Yeah.
I miss BB-8 too. He doesn't do our mail anymore.
So just like BB-8, we are done with Star Wars. That was it for, and you know what? As we predicted, there was absolutely nothing at San Diego Comic-Con relating to Star Wars. Was there?
Not that I heard.
I mean, nothing movie related, anyways. No. So, and at the panel, there was a quick mention by them of Han Solo, but we didn't get. I wasn't expecting anything. I was maybe thinking that Richie would have a video and have some words for the crowd.
Yeah, he said nothing, huh?
They didn't send anything. They just nothing. No message from him. Nothing about it. Just said, "Oh, Ron Howard's hard at work with the crew in England working on the movie." That's all they said. I was hoping that he would maybe have recorded a video and kind of help, calm people's worries about the movie and the situation with the change in director and all that, but there was none of that. So all of those fears are still there, and we don't know what the heck's going on with that movie. So, yeah.
It's a Star Wars movie. Everybody's going to go see it.
Well, yeah, of course. I hate to have, it'd be, worse than whatever you think the worst Star Wars movie is or something like that. Worse than Star Trek 5.
You're not going to win me there because I'm not a Star Trek fan.
Up high.
You're not a Star Trek fan?
No.
How is that possible?
I'm just not a Star Trek fan.
What are you, my girlfriend?
That would be weird, but...
Totally weird.
I watched the reboot. I saw the first one. Thought it was okay. Couldn't even get through the second one.
The second one's not great.
I was like, this is not good.
What's the reboot? Oh, you're talking about the movies?
The
movies,
Abrams.
yeah.
The Abrams ones.
I liked them.
I've seen the first and second. I still haven't seen the last one.
The last one was really good.
I want to see it since I've seen the first and second.
Right.
So.
It was way better than the second one, that's for sure. All right, so one other bit of Star Wars news that came out of San Diego Comic-Con that had nothing to do with the movies, and that was on the comic book front, and that was that there will be a comic book adaptation of the Thrawn novel, which was really cool.
Not Tron.
No, not Tron. Thrawn.
Game of Thrawn?
Yes, Game of Thrones. Game of Prawns. Ooh, I want prawns.
Wait, the Thrawn novel. The book about Thrawn.
Yes, the book, the novel Thrawn.
I was going to say, because that's been done, but you talk that's
right. The novel Thrawn, they will be doing a comic book adaptation of the novel.
I like comic books.
Which is, it's something that you don't really see. You don't see a lot of comic book adaptations of the novel. Usually it's a comic book adaptation. It's called an adaptation of the movie, but they were given the novel, usually to look at, or the script or something. So this is a little bit different situation. It will be adapted by the same person who did the comic book adaptation for Rogue One. So they are definitely somebody who knows what they're talking about with Star Wars. And they had a really cool piece of artwork that was released that I don't know if that's going to be like the cover of the first issue or something, but it sounds very exciting to me. Probably nobody else in this room, but that's fine. All right, so it is time for some Marvel. And 2 words and a trailer that nobody got to see.
Patience.
I've actually seen it now, but because of...
I saw it on a strange angle.
Right, I've seen it now too, and I will get to that in a second. We were talking about Infinity War, the next installment of the combined Marvel, you can call it Avengers, the next Avengers movie, but it's not really the next Avengers movie. It's kind of a combination of everything. It's more than the Avengers, especially when you look at stuff that's in the trailer, because you got Guardians in there, Doctor Strange, all kinds of goodness. Thanos throws a planet. But, so, they showed a extensive trailer for the audience, exclusive trailer for the audience, that no
one has seen.
After D23, there was absolutely no video of it, because D23, of course, takes phones from everybody, and unless you're a press person who really wants to risk losing their press pass forever, you're not going to be stupid enough to try and film it. Now, fast forward a week to Comic-Con, where Comic-Con has no such rules about no cameras inside of Hall H or their panels, where anybody willy-nilly can just hold up a camera to their chest like this and just start filming, even though it's at a weird angle. So there are now videos out there circulating from San Diego Comic-Con of the Infinity War trailer. So they are out there. You got to see them before they get taken down. Michael just happened to post one, and I was able to watch it real fast before it got taken down. So
that's what he posted.
The one I got was like the
2 days
sideways.
ago, yesterday or 2 days ago.
Where you had to like turn your head.
Right, it was kind of like this or something like
About
that.
a third of the screen was cut off.
Yeah, and this person, the one I watched, this person in front of the person that was filming it kept moving their head up.
I hate those big head ass.
The head kept popping up and down and
whoa.
the screen.
Stay in your seat.
It's like, whoa, what's happening?
Whoa.
So
the one I got was Bubba said the guy next to him was filming.
Oh, okay.
And then it was on Dropbox.
That was at the D23 though?
No.
I got a Dropbox.
It's since been taken down.
That was at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because they don't have the no camera rules or no phone rules at Comic-Con.
So what's the deal? Like if you're at D23 and you just say, "Hey, I have no phone," I
get
already left.
You
it
get
in
wanded.
You get wanded
as you're walking in. After you check in your, or as you check in your phone, you get wanded.
Make sure you don't have like other.
Right. It was a whole process last time at D23 to get into that panel.
More time in line.
Yeah, more time in line, exactly. So, yes, Infinity War, there was a huge thing, and some people have seen it, some haven't. And all I know is, like I said, there's some really cool shots of, there seems to be a little bromance that might develop between Star-Lord and Thor.
Spoilers.
And like I said, Thanos appears to throw a planet. You don't
At what?
Probably at the Avengers.
Small planet.
Are they on another planet?
Dwarf planet.
I don't
Pluto.
know. It's like I said, I'm watching the little angled one, and the picture's not great, so can't really tell what's going on. But it does seem very cool. Can't wait for that. That will be coming next year.
Patience.
Yes, patience.
Hey, did you see that report that came out, I don't know, either yesterday or today, that the directors want Thanos to be this generation's Darth Vader?
No, I did not see that. That is very interesting.
That's what they're saying. I can't remember which director. The brothers, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
the Russos.
The Russo brothers? Yeah, that one of them had said at least that they're trying to take this and make Thanos this generation's Darth Vader.
Well, you know what? I mean,
that iconic villain that just
Darth
stands
Vader
out
never
above
threw
all
a
else.
planet at anybody, so.
Yeah, Darth Vader was just
Although
so different.
Darth Vader was there for blowing up a planet.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's kind of right there.
I don't know. Darth Vader was like right in the films from the beginning. He had a human quality. Thanos is.
I mean, he was just
not
some guy,
any of that.
No, I mean we first saw him at the end of Avengers, just sitting in a chair, looking all menacing.
He turned to you,
right?
A quick turn.
So I mean, we saw more of him obviously in
Guardians.
The first Guardians. So I mean, he hasn't really shown menacing yet.
No.
This movie is going to be what shows that, this guy that we've been teasing all this time, he's no joke. He is a baddie beyond all baddies. Like, he is like the ultimate baddie in the Marvel Universe, other than maybe Galactus.
Yeah.
The only person you would probably be more afraid of in the Marvel Universe would be Galactus. I mean, am I right? I mean, I'm not.
Well,
huge.
I was going to throw Doctor Doom in there, but I'm not sure.
Doctor Doom isn't like he isn't
not like
intergalactic
that, yeah.
though.
Yeah.
I mean,
That Doctor Doom movie didn't do very well.
I mean, so
The Beastie Boys are. They're intergalactic.
That's a good one. It brings us back to Star Trek.
So you can't use that song because they used it in Star Trek.
Oh yeah, they did. I remember that part of the movie. So discussion to be picked up when that movie comes out. We'll see what happens.
Totally.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely got a few interviews here. Here's one is Sebastian Stan and Anthony Mackie talking about how they are not Spider-Man fans.
No,
I
don't see Tom
I'll
Holland
wait.
movies.
I mean, it's going to come out on iTunes soon.
Yeah, I'll watch it on the airplane.
You wait for the airplane.
Yeah.
It seems like a solid airplane movie.
Just for his movies. I mean, I was on set a few days, and his acting style blends more with watching it on.
He's got to get that voice down.
Yeah, that squeaky voice. Hey, I'm Spider-Man. No, it's too much. It's too much.
Guys are some jokesters.
Jokes.
Now, here is Mark Ruffalo is constantly being hounded by reporters asking if there's ever going to be a Hulk standalone film. And once again, I forgot what I was going to say. This time is no different. That's what I meant to say.
I want to just make one thing perfectly clear today. A standalone Hulk movie will never happen.
Tell me why.
Because Universal has the rights to the standalone Hulk movie, and for some reason, they don't know how to play well with Marvel. And they don't want to make money.
And with you as the new Hulk, it would be terrible. So that's really probably
that's
the reason.
probably
Because we know that these corporations would work it out if they thought they'd make enough money. So
I
it's
think
clearly
it's
about who's playing Hulk. Let's be
But
honest.
I mean, I figure I got like 2 or 3 more years left before I'm too old to play the Hulk.
Oh, you're
and then
too old
that's
now.
it.
Let's be honest. You're kind of too old now. Let's just be real.
But seriously, this is something that you tried to make happen, and it's just not going to happen.
We talked about it, but I don't see it in the cards. Do you see it in the cards?
No.
See.
I can't believe he asked the question.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little cruel of him.
It was.
No, that's all right. That's okay.
You could see how he
I'm
carries
fine.
it a lot.
It means a lot to me. I mean, I really love this character.
Dude, you're great in the movie. Don't worry about a standalone thing.
No,
You're
I
great
know.
in these.
I do my own. I do my own thing.
I know, but
you
you're
know?
great in these. We need
I know,
you in
you
these.
too.
Thanks.
I mean, I feel like we're like Rosencrantz and Guildenstern
A
in
little
this
bit.
movie.
Thanks, bud.
You know.
That's I forgot to mention that's what's his name that plays War Machine.
Oh.
Yes, Don Cheadle.
Yeah,
That was
awesome.
that other voice that you heard kind of egging him on was Don Cheadle.
Saying you're too old already.
Yes, you're too old already.
Okay, now it makes a little more sense.
Yeah, it does.
Right.
Yeah. I just thought there was some punk ass interviewer messing with him.
I thought so too.
No, that was Don Cheadle right there trying to stir some pot. Now, not to be outdone, Kevin Feige himself was also asked about the potential of a Hulk standalone film. We'll see if his answer is a little bit nicer than what Mark Ruffalo's was, especially on the bad-mouthing Universal part, because that's totally true.
A very strict never say never policy, but he is correct that there are no plans for it.
Yeah, he was just sort of like Universal, like it's never going to happen. They're
Right.
never gonna...
No plans, and he's amazing in the Avengers movies. Thor Ragnarok, which that trailer unleashed to the world, saw the excitement when we pair Hulk with other characters. That's what we're doing right now.
I will say that the Hulk is better paired with other characters. The Hulk story's been done a couple of times at least, right? So not having a standalone Hulk film is not the end of the world. But at the same time, who's over at Universal that's so stupid? I mean, let Marvel say, okay, we'll produce it and take a cut of the film for Marvel to basically make us a hit, right?
Yeah.
Marvel just wants to control what's going on in their universe.
Worked for Sony.
It's working for Sony, but Universal and even more so Fox, they just want to be like gatekeeping of these characters that Stan Lee sold the rights to them so many years ago out of desperation, and they're just like, we're going to do what we can to hold on to these characters, even if we have to make the crappiest Fantastic Four movie ever.
Did you ever watch that? I never even
No,
bothered.
I don't even want to waste my
I think I've seen all three of
them.
Time you can't get back.
So, I would rather watch the second one that has Chris
Surfer.
Evans in it with Lawrence Fishburne as the voice of the Silver
Surfer.
Surfer. So speaking of Thor Ragnarok, that brings us
Chandler.
Bing's not there anymore.
Chandler Bing.
That brings us to San Diego Comic-Con, which, as I said, did not have any Star Wars news, but there was no shortage of Marvel news to go along with what happened at D23. And first and foremost was a brand new, awesome, amazing, cool trailer for Thor Ragnarok that is just hilarious and like psychedelic and cool.
So much has happened since I last saw you. I lost my hammer, like yesterday, so that's still pretty fresh. And then I went on a journey of self-discovery, where I met you. Where are we? You have no idea. Hela, the goddess of death, has invaded Asgard.
Oh, I've missed this.
And you and I had a fight recently.
Did I win?
No, I won, easily.
Doesn't sound right.
Oh, that's true.
Asgard is dead. And it'll be reborn in my image. I thought you'd be glad to see me.
I need to stop her here and now to prevent Ragnarok, the end of everything. So I'm putting together a team. Like the old days.
Surprise! This will be such fun.
Hello.
Hi. He's a fighter.
Here we go! I'm not a queen or a monster. I'm the goddess of death. What were you the god of again?
We're the same, you and I. Just a couple of hot-headed fools.
Yeah, same. Hulk like fire, Thor like water.
Well, kind of both like fire.
But Hulk like raging fire, Thor like smoldering fire.
Yes, that is amazing. I didn't know how they could outdo that first Ragnarok trailer, which was really amazing and had the Led Zeppelin and everything on it. And
$2.
yes, and but this one looks amazing. Get your first.
I'll just say, finally, a Thor movie to get like truly excited about.
That's what I'm saying.
The other 2 Thor movies so far, right? Have there been 2?
Yes.
Were a mixed bag. I don't want to insult. I mean, they're Thor. It's Thor, right?
They weren't bad.
They weren't horrible, but there was just something missing. There was an excitement
Second
factor.
one was just kind of like,
The second one wasn't as good as the first.
The first one, the only thing that really had me going on with that one was like, oh, Kenneth Branagh's directing.
Kat Dennings.
Yes.
Yeah, I like her.
And Kat Dennings before she was Kat Dennings.
Well, Padme. Always nice to see.
Hey, back to D23 with this. D23 actually had this thing where for Thor Ragnarok, they inserted you into a piece of the movie.
Oh, that's
where,
cool.
Where I'll show you right now, but where Hulk busts out when they're going to fight, they put you in there. So I did it. It's like a little 12-second clip that they put you in and they email it to you. It was pretty cool.
We'll have to check that out.
And besides the awesome trailer, they released an awesome new poster, which is really cool and very colorful. Have you seen it? They've already taken this poster and they've inserted Jeff Goldblum's head over top of everybody else's head.
That's classic.
Oh, I did see that.
And like Hulk, for example, has like Jeff Goldblum from like Independence Day with the glasses and everything. So yeah, that's really funny. But it's a really
with the glasses.
Now we're all aware that in the background of Jeff Goldblum's scenes, Mission Breakout is.
Yes, the collectors. It was pointed out at the first trailer that the collector's fortress, aka the Guardians ride at DCA, is in the background and is currently on this planet.
Yeah.
At the time of this, so the question would be: does this take place before it comes to Earth? I don't know.
We'll find out.
We'll find out in the cartoon, probably.
Well, the Jeff Goldblum was the collector's brother.
Yes, that was also officially confirmed. From the comic, everybody knew that the Collector and the Grandmaster were brothers, but Jeff Goldblum and others at the San Diego Comic-Con panel confirmed that the Collector and the Grandmaster are indeed brothers, that they were very old beings.
Yeah, what they have a name. Shoot, what are they
Eternals.
called?
No, not Eternals.
That's from Guardians.
That whole group of the elders, because oh my God, what's the character that Kurt Russell does in Guardians? He's one of them too.
Eternals is from Guardians.
He's an Eternal.
Is that a Grandmaster Flash?
Yeah.
Yes, sure.
Cool. I like that guy.
I don't remember. I thought I had that here, but I don't have it.
Because they're not brothers. They just call each other brothers because they're so old.
Oh, so they're not literal
They're
brothers.
not literal brothers.
They're like the same type of being.
Yeah,
there's only a couple of them.
Right, they're very similar.
Who call themselves brothers.
Right, they've been around in the universe as long as
universe,
as long as Ego,
Q.
or Q, or the whatever the Eternal that in
Guardians.
In Guardians, that Nowhere is made out of the Eternal's head. That's one, and then obviously the Watchers as well, which
the Watchers,
which were introduced at the end of
I like those guys,
right? Which were introduced in Guardians 2 into that
continuity. Oh yeah, Stan Lee,
yes, Stan Lee, the Watchers lackey. Now I don't have it here, but I'm gonna have to try and give this from memory. That during the Marvel section of the panel, they did have a brand new poster and some artwork come out for Ant-Man and the Wasp, but we got some new casting for that, and that was mainly involved Lawrence Fishburne crossing over from DC as Perry White to Marvel, yet another person to do both, and he will be in Ant-Man and the Wasp, and he will be a character known as Goliath, or he was also known as Black Goliath.
I've never been on that ride, though.
Yes, Lawrence Fishburne will portray Dr. Bill Foster, who in the comic books was, I believe, he was one of the many people to take the mantle of Goliath or Giant Man, I believe. So he will also, in the comics, he also used the Ant-Man powers but he mainly was always gigantic rather than being small. In the comics, when he was Black Goliath, he had a very, you know how Luke Cage's costume looked in the comics?
So is the question, is it a powered suit or like does he have natural powers?
It seems like, and I'm not totally familiar with it on the comic books, but his suit didn't seem like it was a suit like Ant-Man's suit where he had a helmet and stuff.
Right.
So it almost seemed like it was natural powers, but I'm not really sure about that.
Natural powers. Wears something cool.
Yes.
Okay. I can deal with that.
All right, also in that panel, they had all of the cast of Black Panther, and they showed them some clips and stuff, but it was nothing that we got to see, so not really much to talk about there.
Hey, did you go look at the costumes in the Marvel booth?
Costumes were awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, they looked amazing.
Yeah, I saw when they had during the live-action panel, they revealed, while that was still going on, they pulled the tarps off, and they revealed the Thanos' army.
Yeah.
Which looks...
I didn't know they were covered up. I didn't go
never,
over there until
only at the very beginning.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to go over there and take a pictures of that. I took a picture of the first one they had already revealed, and I didn't get it.
I think they just had Thanos revealed at first, right? And then during the panel, then
that's what I heard, but I didn't see it.
Yeah, it said on the bottom, revealed on, and they give the days.
Oh, did it?
Yeah,
I took pictures of all of them. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, I had the day. Well, it was all Saturday, I believe. The rest of them were going to be revealed. But yeah, I didn't get a chance to go over there and take a picture. I took a picture of just the first one.
Yeah, their costumes looked really. That movie, I saw the trailer for that too. That looks really good. Marvel's got something going right here with all their cinematic universe.
For which one?
Over the whole cinematic universe, and even the Spider-Man thing, like we talked about before a couple of weeks ago. Like it's done right. Put it in Marvel's hands is just done right.
Yeah, they definitely know what they're doing, and they don't need to change anything that they're doing at all because yeah. All right, so speaking of good movies and speaking of the 80s, we got one last thing here. It is the advertisement. I don't know if you guys have seen this for the Guardians of the Galaxy Blu-ray release, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 Blu-ray release. Well, let's just say it's a little vintage.
The following is a paid advertisement from Walt Disney Home Entertainment.
Get ready to hop back in the Milano and head out into the galaxy with your favorite group of ragtag heroes.
This amazing collection is jam-packed with your favorite characters. Star-Lord, Gamora, Drax, Rocket, Mantis, Nebula, Yondu, and Baby Groot.
Oh, I love Baby Groot. And Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is packed with some of your favorite features like deleted scenes, director commentary, and even bloopers.
Oh, Jill, you know how I love all that behind the scenes.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 will be available in stunning 4K UHD resolution.
Enjoy all your favorite formats, DVD, Blu-ray, and even digital HD. Use the information on your screen below to pre-order Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Experience the making of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 with all the stars of the film.
Visit the set with director James Gunn. Explore mind-bending visual effects and
a music video starring TV icon David Hasselhoff. It doesn't get any better than that. I love the Hoff.
as much as Baby Groot.
Aw, Steve, don't make me choose. If you act early and pre-order your digital copy, you get 4 additional bonus features only available through this special offer.
And if that's not enough, when you purchase the 4K UHD edition, you get an exclusive poster at no extra charge.
Don't wait. Act now. Order yours today.
Go to www.gotgjams.com or call 1-844-552-GOTG.
Yeah, Slater.
The only thing that would make that better is Captain EO.
Yeah.
Couple things over on the Guardians tip. So D23, the Music Emporium, had the Volume 2, the soundtrack.
The record.
On,
They had
on cassette. And then cassette.
Oh,
actually,
right, yes.
I picked up one on Red, which is a limited one. I got it from my cousin. And then if you haven't seen it, you need to find the interview they did with Yondu himself, Merle Dixon, Michael Rooker, because he basically admits that like when he went and visited the set of Infinity War, and he basically planted spoilers, like he threw people off. He put pictures of him online wearing an Infinity War beanie, and stuff. He purposely did it. Like he planted wrong information just because he thought it was funny. So that's a clip worth. If you can find that one, it's a clip worth watching.
Okay, so I just went to that website on the bottom where it says
GOTG
Jams,
okay.
and it gives me a phone number.
Is that the 844-552-GOTG?
Yeah, we should
call it live online
right now.
Yes, let's do it right now. You do it because you can. We can hear.
He's got
it.
minutes. He has that AT&T plan.
We'll be able to hear it through the thing.
Unlimited.
Yeah, because it does say right here for a special message call.
Thank you for calling the Guardians Hotline. Now strap on your jetpacks and head back to the stars with your favorite group of ragtag heroes. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is on digital August 8th, Blu-ray August 22nd, and new to 4K Ultra HD. To learn more, head to www.gotgjabs.com. And for a special message, press 1 now.
I'm Groot. I am Groot. I am Groot.
I think he said welcome to Movie Phone.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I was thinking, yeah, exclusive.
Well, it's pretty much an infinite loop. Because one thing sends you to the other and then back and
Right, I was
forth.
thinking, I'm like, wait a minute, the phone tells you to go to gotgjams.com, and then
website.
that tells you to go back.
Oh, it's clickbait.
So it is 80s.
Right. It's just an infinite loop.
Well,
call our hotline.
When does the VHS come out?
I believe it comes out...
The Black Diamond edition?
Yes, I believe it comes out after.
Oh.
So wait, there was actually a cassette tape being sold?
Yeah.
They sold a cassette tape of the first soundtrack, too.
Yeah, which they had there, too. It was only like
Where do you
$15.
find a thing to play it on?
That's the trick.
I have they had the Guardians of the Galaxy Deluxe soundtrack, which is the one that has the music soundtrack and the score all in one soundtrack.
Uh-huh.
I have the Deluxe record for the first movie. I need to get the Deluxe record.
Well, they're selling
for
the
second one.
Vinyl.
Yeah, well,
It's
vinyl's
$30.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
big.
I'm talking about the Deluxe record, the vinyl,
I have a
because I have the Deluxe vinyl for the first Guardians of the Galaxy.
Either way, I think you can find something to play this where
I have a
Marty McFly
I have
found
a
that
photo
album out.
of the vinyl.
I saw that movie too the other day.
Love that movie.
All right, so before we finish and move on to mail real quick, I just want to do a little quick rant about something that, of course, everybody knows that this year was the 40th anniversary of Star Wars.
That's right.
Well,
I know where this is going.
You should know where this is going
not
because
wearing
you
the
liked
right hat.
Yeah, I saw it on Twitter.
Not wearing the right hat. I have the Star Wars 40th right here on the other one.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Because this year was Star Wars 40th.
Oh, I thought you said red hat. I was in the redhead.
The right hat.
We didn't get a re-release as we should have. And it was... I never really thought about it until today. Well, actually, I've been thinking about it since they first teased this thing I'm going to talk about. But today it was made official that on September 1st, we are getting a digitally 4K remastered version of Close Encounters of the Third Kind going back into the theaters for its 40th anniversary.
But they're not doing anything.
We got nothing for Star Wars.
That's come and gone.
That's come and gone.
Yeah, that was in May.
That was May.
Yeah,
May came and gone. We got our little fluffs and stuff, and yet the movie that came in second to Star Wars that year in box office is getting from Sony Columbia is getting a 100% 4K restoration and re-release in theaters and a new Blu-ray and 4K release.
You say Sony?
Whoa.
Yeah, Sony.
There you go again. Sony doing it right.
See, Sony doing things right. So I just wanted to...
on advice of Marvel.
Shout out to that, and that I will be able to finally mark that movie off of my bucket list of movies to see on the big screen.
You saw A New Hope on the big screen. It was just a
keep me
special
posted.
edition.
No, I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about Close Encounters.
Oh, no, I know that, but I'm saying you saw
I saw
A New Hope on the big screen.
yeah,
but I saw the special edition.
I've seen New Hope on this big screen
20th.
several times, but I mean,
I know what you mean.
A re-release for the 40th, especially if it was like the original theatrical,
Yeah,
or something
well,
like that, because that's
no,
what
that's
everybody
what-
wanted was like an original theatrical release, and well, it didn't happen, and well, Sony. Kudos to you, and well, Lucasfilm dropped the ball. Boom.
You know, I was
The
thinking the
Pixar
other
ball.
day that you guys might know the answer to this. Do you know what the profits so far on The Force Awakens and Rogue One have been?
A lot.
or just The Force Awakens.
Didn't Force Awakens do over $1 billion worldwide?
It's like $2 billion.
Okay, well look at like what it costs. You're only talking in a couple $100 million. So
okay, well that's the question. Is it $200 million? Is it $300? The reason I was asking is because somebody asked me, "Oh, what did Lucas sell the franchise for? What did he sell Lucasfilm for?"
Oh, $4 billion.
And I said, "Well, it's like $4.2 billion,
Right.
$4.1 billion, something along those lines." Now he's building a museum and so on, which is something I'm really excited about. The museum's going to be awesome. But they recouped.
Oh, they recouped their money.
Literally half of their investment on the first film.
Right, and then the rest of it is merchandise.
Now,
nothing does merchandise like Star Wars.
Are we just talking about worldwide, or are we talking about domestic?
Worldwide.
I don't know if I have worldwide, but I do have domestic.
Well, it should be like $1 billion domestic.
No, I don't think it's not that high.
Force Awakens,
it's in the
936.
Yeah, I was going to say 800 million plus.
1,662,000.
Just shy of $1 billion.
Yeah,
just shy of
domestic.
$1 billion. And then Rogue One is second with 532 billion.
This is just domestic.
Not billion, million. Yes, this is just domestic. That's all I have right here.
So you've got $1.5 billion
between the two films.
Films.
Again, that's
just
films.
the United States of America.
That's not even merchandise.
Yes, exactly.
Well, yeah, and merchandise, they're probably at $1 billion.
Right, as I'm sitting here wearing a $25 T-shirt. Anyway,
there's no design on it. It just says the Force is strong in my family.
Right. It does say Star Wars on the back.
Okay, well that's good.
Just real quick,
I got this one at Target. It says "Give me some space,"
which was licensed to Target.
Right. It's got Darth Vader, and he's pushing away Leia.
Does that shirt say Disney on it anywhere?
We'll have to check after.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Just real quick, just to finalize that little part, adjusted for inflation, Force Awakens still comes in number 2 with its 900 million, and the original Star Wars comes in at 1.2 billion, adjusted for inflation.
Total.
So that's including.
I don't want to get started.
That's not counting the special edition, because special edition actually shows up as its own numbers, which is 267 million.
Well, that's the other thing you have to consider when they release this new trilogy,
ticket prices,
or when they release all 9 films at once again. The Force Awakens is going to skyrocket once again because all these people are going to be buying it.
Oh shit, that's not even including the 1982 Star Wars reissue. So that's only including the original theatrical run. 1.2 billion.
Short answer to the
for
question:
inflation.
They made their money back. They made their money back like pretty quick.
But yeah, as far as what you're talking about, Force Awakens and Rogue One, 1.5 billion.
It's just the United States. I wonder what the international number. I mean, I think it's something like $2 billion international just for Force Awakens, which again it's like half of what they spent. I mean, if I had $4 billion lying around, I would have bought Star Wars too. It's a great investment.
That's a bargain.
Yeah, totally.
$4 billion for that.
He sold a $10 billion thing for $4 billion because it was Disney.
I have your answer here. Here's worldwide box office: 2 billion worldwide box office for Force Awakens.
2.058,
and then Rogue One worldwide is 1,050,000,000.
And then you add that together with the...
It's $3 billion. That's about $3.1 billion between the two worldwide.
You add that together with the $1 billion of merchandise that they've probably sold already, and then and Star Wars Celebration and all that stuff, and you've got breaking even minus the cost of these films. So probably half of...
Worldwide box office for all the films, $7 billion. $7.6 billion.
Yeah, and a third of that is just in the last 2.
Right.
All right, so before we get to mail, I want to get to something that Anthony said last week about Fantasmic. And when he was talking about this, I was confused of what he was trying to get to or what he was saying, because it really didn't make sense to me. And then when I was editing last week, I was like, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. So when you were talking about the barges with the princesses on there, and you were saying you didn't understand why Rapunzel changed the color or got all bright orange and the other ones didn't.
Just listen to it.
Remember that part?
Yeah.
You said the other floats didn't do that.
Well, I mean, I said from my vantage point they didn't seem to.
Well, all the floats, and I mean, I didn't understand what you're saying, because since it started, all the floats are blue when they come out.
Yes.
As soon as their song comes out, they light up to their colors.
Okay. Are they all as bright as the Tangled, though? That's my point. That was my point.
Well, it's going to be bright because it's orange.
Well, okay, maybe that's why it just seemed
Yeah.
like it was brighter and like as if the others weren't lighting up. Is because
what are the
fact
colors
that-
of the others?
Blue and blue, green, and then I think there's a
Snow White used to be red, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, so the one goes from blue to blue green, so that's not much of a
Well,
change.
it's a lighter color blue. They're all dark blue. Then they go.
So I think my point was that Tangled just seemed to be such an extreme color change then that it stood out more.
I can see where you're coming from with that.
Right.
His point is that they've always changed.
Plus
colors.
the fact that I've been over on the far left, that right when Tangled gets around to that side, it just comes on. And it's like the sun.
Like what?
How was it again? Wait, I'm a little lost as how it was. Yeah, okay. Now we get it.
That's why we have spit filters.
Is that what these are?
No. So yeah, that's like I was saying. I was like listening to it. I'm like, what are you talking about? Because they start off from the dark blue color and they light up to their colors, like with the Beauty and the Beast with the red.
Well, and I think with the Beauty and the Beast, that since I've only watched it from the left side, by the time Beauty and the Beast comes on, it's all the way over on the other side. So I see it blue, 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 and then by the time it gets to the other side and changes color, I'm not even looking at it anymore. I'm looking at the Tangled one coming towards me and waiting for it to come on. So, I mean, that's where I was coming from, is just that from my vantage point, both times, all I see is just orange.
Yeah. So now that Dan's here, have you seen the show?
I sure have.
And what's your opinion?
I
Compared
agreed
to
with,
like what we said.
I agreed with most of it, actually.
Okay.
I thought the transitions were, I don't really want to say awkward.
Choppy?
But they're a little choppy. I didn't see how it moved from piece to piece.
Stories.
I'm okay with the
nonsensical.
I'm okay with the digital mapping. I thought that was pretty good. I don't have a problem with
It's good. I'm going to agree it's good. In my opinion, there's just a little too much of it. It's like they don't let it breathe.
I can see what you're saying, because at points like I was
wine?
watching the show, but then I had to remind myself like, oh, look over there at the shack to see what's actually going on over there.
When there's too many
Love Shack?
The Love Shack.
Baby Love Shack. Listen,
the Simpsons glove slap. Baby glove slap.
The thing with this new show is like you don't know where to look, right?
Yeah, I can kind of see that.
And with the Phantasmic that we all grew up with, there's a pinnacle moment in every scene, if that makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like each scene has a moment where you're supposed to be drawn to one spot, and you're not supposed to be looking over here to see whatever else is going on.
Well, it took me a second to realize once the Simba part came because that came up on the spray, correct, on the water, and then when on the barges that go across, it took me a minute to realize, oh, that's not King Louis and the
It is King
apes.
Louis.
It is King Louis.
One of them is King Louis. The
Yeah.
rest of them are supposed to be themed something different because they're dressed in different costumes.
Well, they're
They
the
changed
Hong
costumes.
Kong.
Yeah.
They're no longer the Perry the Platypus dancers.
Okay. So that took me a second. I don't have a problem with pirates. It doesn't bug me. It's still basically the same thing.
Some people do. It is. That's what bugs me about it, is that it's almost the exact same thing.
Yeah, instead of Hook, taking the rope swing, it's Jack Sparrow.
Right, exactly.
I don't know that it was ever really clear who the girl was, although I think she's supposed to be the
still
one in
not
this last movie.
It's not clear.
It wasn't bad. I mean, I'll watch it. I don't have a problem with it.
The music being slowed down and re-recorded, like it's not an assault on your ears or your memories.
No, I noticed it was a little different, but I tend to be the type that don't take it in that deeply.
Okay.
I mean, I've watched that show since it came out too, and I mean, I would specifically always go to the 10:30 show. I just had a routine for how I was going to watch Phantasmic. I was at the party, the AP party for the 20th anniversary. I mean, love it. Yeah, there's some things that changed, but what are you going to do? I mean, it changed. I'm going to have to live with it, hoping they make some little tweaks to get better.
Well, if they're
tighten
going
that
to
story
make
up a little bit.
if they're going to make these kind of changes, then nothing's sacred. That's the way I look at it.
Well, yeah, but you guys alluded to it last week, or maybe it was something different I was listening to, because Ursula is gone. You know, and it just at some point I have to remind myself.
not-
Oh yeah,
Oh, then you mean the witch. The witch is gone.
The big Ursula.
Oh, she's been gone for about 10
Exactly, but it was there, and it even reminded me like I forgot she was even in that show.
Yeah.
because I'd seen it so many times.
She was like the main.
and then you get Flotsam and Jetsam
float for a long time.
Right, it was the main float.
Her and the
or
crocodile.
The crocodile is the other one. It goes so much to be like I
And then-
forgot that was even
and
in
then
this
those
show.
both broke, and then after about 4 or 5 years, when the 20th came back, they brought the croc back, but Ursula was.
Oh, the
was
croc had
long
left?
gone. The croc and Ursula were both broken.
See, I didn't
for
even
a
know the
few
croc.
years.
Tubbs.
You
Tubbs
remember that?
took care of him. Crockett and Tubbs.
I didn't even know the croc had left
Oh yeah, I've been gone a long time.
because it was there when I came back. I take it they brought it back in 2010
I don't remember.
when they redid it, and they took out my fireworks.
Oh, yeah.
my
Your pew pew.
my pew, 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 pew.
All right, let me just get to something about the music. Because I had a friend ask, who's the person who sung the song on Fantasmic, the one we talk about how it slowed down, the one before. And when I did some research, I actually found out that the person who sang that song before was Jane Etheridge Correa.
New or old?
Old.
North or south?
No. And, well, she actually passed away in 2010. So maybe
She
that
couldn't get it to redo it.
So, yeah, exactly. She's not available to be here to redo the music.
But my question is, why redo the music? Why not just redo
Exactly.
the original track?
Why?
It's self-explanatory. You got the new transitions, and you got to make, especially with the tango scene.
Yeah,
If they're remixing it though, they can take her vocal, her main vocal, and they can remix that to fit into the other stuff.
They probably couldn't do that, okay? And the person who did sing the new version is Heather Headley. We've actually talked about her before on the podcast. She is the original Nala in the Lion King Broadway musical. So there's your Disney connection with the newest singer for that part.
Well, either way, it would have had to been redone for
Well,
the
the
Snow
slow
White piece.
singing is not her fault. That's direction.
Right.
I get it. The director or the producer of the segment should say we want the same pace and the same tone as this old one, so that people can sing along to it just like they always have.
Exactly. Unless somebody said, okay, well, they rewrote new, slower arrangement for it, in which case then it's whoever that person's fault is. Definitely don't blame the person singing because they're just being told to sing or being given music. So, I mean, it's not obviously not their fault.
All right, so we're going to move on. It's time to get to the mail. We have quite a few emails here. First one, these are actually were sent in a while ago. And this first one is from Nancy. And I did explain to her that we didn't read her email because of time last week. But her subject line is mic drop.
Mic drop.
Well, I know that you have lots of listeners like Michael, the contractually obligated mail guy. Dan just literally
Contractually obligated.
Dan just literally dropped his mic.
Yeah, mic drop.
I know you dropped the contract part, but I'm podcast old school. Dan the man, Jake from State Farm. Where is Jake? Brian. Captain Cody. Where's Cody? And of course, the newest Knight. But none of them can claim with proof that they have listened to all of the podcasts.
No, I'll straight up give it to her.
Yeah.
I straight up have admitted, no, I didn't do that.
She says, said in the voice of Maui from Moana, Nancy, Nancy, Nancy. Ah, you are so amazing. Mic drop. So, hey, Nancy got through all of the episodes of
Congratulations, Nancy. You've done something that no one's done except Diggs.
Wait, am I?
You're right.
I think only Diggs has listened to everyone. That's only because he has to edit them.
Exactly.
I've listened to everywhere, and I'm
Anthony
here.
has not listened to every single one.
I'm here.
Edited.
Come on, Anthony. What's the name of the award that Stanley used to give people for writing into his column?
Ooh, that's a good piece of trivia.
No prize?
Yeah, no prize.
Okay.
No
Yeah,
prize.
So Nancy gets no prize.
I had to think if that was Stan Lee who
No
came up with
prize
that. but-
whatsoever.
Yeah, no prize. I just want to point out that she seems a little bitter because I still haven't come up with a nickname for her.
Oh, yes.
Because I just haven't been able to. Nothing's really come to mind.
Fancy Nancy.
That, I mean, if you want to go with that, she could be Fancy Nancy. I'm okay with somebody else coming up with the name.
That's cool.
I mean, I'm not obligated to be the only one to come up with names around here. Shit.
All right, Fancy Nancy, if you like that name, let us know. All right, we're going to start with episode 90.
I mean, Mr. Fresh over here already had his nickname when
Chicka chicka.
So,
Hey, That's old.
All right, we're going with episode 90, Rocket's Red Glare.
It's not my first nickname.
How's Shadow's eye?
It's not there anymore.
It's gone, actually.
Well, he's got a pirate patch.
Well, he's not here.
He has two glass eyes.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. Shadow's eye is okay. They went in and did some laser surgery to basically, I don't know. There's some bleeding in the back of the eye because of,
old age,
diabetes and everything, or as you said,
diabetes.
Yes. Yeah. And so they went back there to basically stop the bleeding in the eye. He had one procedure done when he did one eye, and then they did it a second time, and then he was supposed to go back and do it a third time.
Ooh, third eye.
Yes. But
Shadow, my name's Wilford Brimley, and we're here to talk about your diabetes.
So he's doing good. He's all right. He can see, kind of. I don't know. All right, Guardians of the Galaxy ride. Now that you have been on this ride at least twice, where do you rank this ride in your all-time favorite Disneyland/DCA rides?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
That is the tough one.
That's very tough.
I don't know that I have a ranking like that other than Big Thunder Mountain's my favorite.
I agree, because Space Mountain's my favorite.
So there you go. I just know Thunder is my favorite. You know Mansion's your favorite. Yeah. Anthony?
Well, I always just Mansion, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay. So you know those are your two
Tomorrowland, Terrence line.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Otherwise, if I had to just say, I would go with Star Tours as an easy one just because I love Star Wars.
Yeah.
But then again, I could say Indy because I love Indy. So,
Right.
I was just kind of say Mansion.
All for a different reason.
Mansion.
Yeah.
Mansion.
Yeah, so it's hard to rank where this...
But as far as she's saying all the whole resort or DCA?
Yeah. She's saying all Disney rides ever.
Okay.
How about
it's up there,
just at DCA, since we've all got our favorite at
Disneyland?
Disneyland.
Well, my favorite at DCA is Screamin'.
Okay.
Well, my favorite at DCA has always been Soarin', no matter what.
Soarin' always gets me here.
Right, exactly.
Gets me in the feels.
But I think with if you were to go Soarin' over California would be here, and then Guardians here, but Soarin' over the world is just below, maybe.
Okay.
So you guys didn't see it. He put that second.
He's doing stuff with his hands.
Yeah.
So, Guardians, I would say Guardians is definitely way up there. It's definitely a top 5 ride for me. With even of all rides.
The ride itself, for me, I'm a coaster junkie, but for non-roller coaster ride, Guardians of the Galaxy is probably in the top 5. I will say
rides,
as a thrill ride. However, I still, and I think we talked about this last week, I'm still not in favor of how it looks where it is. I think it doesn't look great. Aesthetically, once from the outside, I'm not a fan. But on the inside and the way everything runs once you go in, I think they did a fantastic
Well, aesthetics is in where it is in relation to other buildings.
Right.
If it had been built, say, after a Marvel Land was in existence,
10-4,
and
course,
it went together, then it would probably fit in. But
100%. I hope that it fits more later. I think they could have. Man, if they had the power to write the story and make the collector from any sort of looking area that they wanted, right?
I was going to go Little Mermaid.
Okay.
No, I'm going to say either iteration of the Tower of Terror, Guardians of the Galaxy is probably my thing.
Which one's more fun?
I have to say Guardians.
I have
music.
to say Guardians too.
Guardians
I got a special spot for Tower of Terror because I love Twilight Zone. I'm a big fan of the TV.
I am too.
The original TV series.
I will say,
kind of fit in with all that.
I don't think we were with you guys, but my very last ride on Tower, we went for the special party. Couldn't pull it off then. Then we went the next night for the actual last night.
Yeah.
And I tried for, we think we rode 8 times between the two, or 10 times between the 2 nights, and I tried every single time to get the entire elevator to be silent through the whole ride, because it was in the black, right? There's no music, and I just wanted to just close my eyes and listen to the sounds of the elevator and just take it in. And it was only on the very last time. I said, "Has everybody done this before? I've been trying to do this. The elevators make these creepy sounds, and it's the last time any of us are ever going to ride this attraction. Let's just do it in a different way." if you want to scream in your head, but just please not here, you know. And I kept saying it every time, and finally we got a silent elevator, and it was so cool, better than any music.
All right, we need to move on. Got a lot of stuff to get to.
I know.
Spoiler episode. You had discussed having more movie-specific podcasts. I think that would be a great idea. I know not all movies will fill up an hour. Even a cool 30-minute podcast would be great. I would love to do 30-minute podcasts. All right, episode 90.
They didn't quit it.
Yes. Episode 91, Bigger Than the Pope House.
Well, I could say in reference to the last one, this episode was really movie-centric.
Yeah.
We talked a lot about movies tonight.
All right, she says, good show. It's always nice to have Mike as a guest star.
Uh-oh.
All right, episode 92, Old Chums, John Stamos and Betty White. How did you like Cars 3? I don't know. I haven't seen it yet.
It was actually really good.
Neither have I, but I've heard really good things.
Yeah, it's really good. It's much better than Cars 2.
Cars 2 was a complete piece of crap.
I think Cars 2 was just put together just like something funny. And
Larry the Cable Guy alluded to the fact that they're just going to forget it.
Yeah,
Right. They need to.
Yeah, looks like it's more serious.
Oh, it's a great movie. Yeah, fantastic.
I can't wait to see it. I do want to see it. All right, next question. She says, have you ever been to the Disney Family Museum? I haven't.
I've been outside.
I've been outside of it in my car.
I've been inside twice.
Well, there you go. The answer to that.
What do you want to know?
No, because she just actually went to it.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah, she just went to it.
I don't know if it's so much of a visit all the time kind of a thing, but
they have panels and stuff there too.
I could do it once a year if there was a little bit of an additional.
Well, the display,
the
exhibit rotates, so that would be a reason.
The additional exhibit.
I really missed when they had. I think it was a year and a half or a couple years ago. They had the railroad exhibit.
Oh yeah,
that's one I would have really liked to have seen.
It's in a nice area. In the Presidio down
right.
there, and it's actually easy to get to, and parking's pretty easy.
All right, episode 95, Petition While Wet. Dan the Man, nice. He has a good radio voice.
Oh, thank you.
She says, but were you just gas crushing all over him? Major bromance happening, and I have to admit, I'm a little jealous. I think... Anthony bromances with anyone who comes in new and is not me or my brother. Or Michael at this point.
I just like having other people to talk to about stuff.
All right. Dan mentioned that he hasn't gone back and listened to the old podcasts because they were old. Just to defend myself, not that I need to. As the Blues Brothers said, we are on a mission from God.
Oh, nice reference. I like it. No, I give her all props. I'm telling you.
She says, I came so far and I had to see it through.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the Trump animatronic. Just looked it up. So do you care to speculate what he will say, or is it just that kind of show?
Make America great again. I'm sure.
No, he's probably going to say something like, let's boo Hillary.
He's going to say that something about Obamacare being around for 17 years.
That'd be funny.
Or he's not going to play golf on one of his properties.
He should be playing golf in the
keep going. We could do this all night. We keep moving.
I don't have no idea what they're going to put in there or what he's going to say.
Neither do they, because it got indefinitely postponed.
Yeah.
Right. Really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
There's just too much backlash.
Yeah, let's deal with the redhead first.
All right. She goes on to say, Anthony said, I don't want to waste my favorite Disney memory here. I'd rather save it for a Magical Memories episode. So when are you having a Magical Memory episode? That would be our 100th episode.
That's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, so make sure that both of you guys have a magical Disney memory, a good story, good Disney story for the 100th.
I don't think you've heard our Magical Memory and my Magical Memory.
Send me the episode number so I can watch it.
That was the one I was on, so it was like 94, 95?
That was, what?
No. When I did our first Magical Memory, it was me being going to the Disney jail.
And the name of the episode was actually MousePIRE's Magical Memories. Yeah. And then the second one was when I told the story about the fried chicken.
Yeah.
I think.
I remember that. I listened to that one.
All right, so yeah,
that sounds familiar too.
That's when it's gonna we're gonna do it. It will be episode 100 for sure. She says, Walt Disney World plans. Can you tell us about your plans, when you are going, where are you staying. I love to hear vacation plans and live vicariously through others. Don't know what's going on yet. I'm still waiting for details because we should be already planning them, but I'm not sure. I don't know. I can't remember what we said we were staying at.
Star Wars Hotel.
Yes. That's because Dan's playing out when he teaches summer school, and he's going to give us that.
That's dirty.
I have no idea about any of that. All I have to say is...
We have the plans.
She says, any other Disney podcast recommendations?
Anthony knows about the podcasts, right?
Actually, you know what? I got hit up at the D23 Expo about you. I ran into Russell Flores.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
How did Russell remember me?
Well, he saw my MousePIRE buttons. That's right. I had my MousePIRE buttons on D23.
Well, represent.
So I had him on, and he was like, "Oh, MousePIRE," and I'm like, "Yeah, I know those guys. They're friends of mine." And he's like, "Anthony was just on Skywalking Through Neverland," and I was like, "Oh, yeah, I know that podcast too."
Right on.
You've been on a few others.
Yeah, I've heard him on a couple of episodes of Skywalking.
I've been on quite a few episodes of Skywalking, mostly in-park interviews and stuff. Rebecca and I actually went over to their house and recorded once.
Cool.
Yeah.
They live in...
Dirty, don't invite.
But and then once after the last D23, I was actually invited, and I did a recap of the live-action panel for Disney Vault Talk with Steve Glosson and Teresa Delgado.
Oh, I reckon. Isn't she on Skywalking Through Neverland once in a while?
Once in a while. She does Fangirls Going Rogue. With,
okay, yeah.
With
right.
Trisha Barr and
I listened to that
Sarah.
a little bit.
Other than that, I haven't been on any podcasts. I suppose at some point we'll probably be on Joey's podcast, Disney Universe.
So, yes, Nancy, we suggest the Disney Universe podcast. That one's pretty cool. I like Podcateers. They're funny. They're like us, three fat guys, and love food and things like that. They talk about Disney. They also talk about movies, just like what we do, but they're a little different. But they're cool. They're funny.
Everything's slightly different.
So Podcateers, Disney Universe podcast, Skywalking Through Neverland. I guess we could probably give out to the Olive Board podcast. Michael's been on there.
Exactly.
And it's also run by the same guy who does the Disney Universe podcast.
All right, so she goes on to say that she tried to donate on Patreon. She says she screwed something up and is doing something I don't understand. So when I get back from vacation, I'll figure it out. Dirty. So yeah, she did tell me that, we were messaging back and forth that she was trying to do that, and I told her I didn't get any notification about any new Patreon. So I guess like I said earlier, she was on vacation. She did go up to the Walt Disney Family Museum. So hopefully we'll hear about that. All right. Well, thank you for that email, Nancy. We appreciate it, and we are glad that you listened to all of our episodes and is caught up, and you can not have to worry about when you're going to listen. The next podcast is going to come out, and you will be fresh on that one.
Chicka.
Exactly.
Fresh.
All right, so next email one more time from Nancy. And it starts out saying, as I've been told, if I can't say anything nice, then I shouldn't say anything at all. So all I'll say is I really miss hearing Diggs and Shadow. Shadow basically just sits there and types on his phone, and that's all he ever does. So.
How can you miss somebody who hardly ever talks?
Yeah. And me, I don't know. I talk.
I think he talked once last week.
Yeah, he's whatever.
Yeah, but he was muted all the times that he was talking.
That's true. All right, so then she goes on she actually sent another email a couple minutes later, says, okay, after I sent this, I immediately felt bad. Is this MousePIRE guilt? Anyway, what I really should have said, I liked Tim Chigga Fresh, another person who has a great on-air voice.
Now that I've learned how to use the microphone.
It was really hard to speak into it.
I had bad instructions. See, even now, it's like better down here, and then you talk up here, and you don't get...
Now he knows how to work the microphone.
You got to learn...
He's playing with his mic.
Yeah, you got to figure it out. But these guys, they can be like 2 feet away from their mic, and it picks them up. I got to talk right into mine.
This is an omnidirectional mic.
Oh, yeah?
So it can pick up him back there.
Right, which is why it needs to be compressed.
Yeah.
And the reason I could be way back here is because I'm not compressed
I need to omnidirectional myself.
Yes. All right, so she goes on to say, however, I really miss hearing from Diggs and Shadow. Also, I'm not sure that Fantasmic warranted a 2-hour conversation on why it was bad. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure the points were valid. I was a little disappointed because I was expecting to hear more on the other events, especially D23, which you did last time, and I really enjoyed hearing that information.
Well, hopefully, Nancy, you got more information about D23 tonight.
Yeah, we did say that there was going to be 2 parts on the D23. Okay, I hope that doesn't sound so terrible. No.
How dare you?
No, it's not
off with her head.
Terrible at all. All right, thank you for that email, Nancy. Don't feel MousePIRE guilt or anything. All right, so our next email is from Michael, the mail guy.
Fired.
He says still blocked and feeling fine about it. Liar.
Blocked by who?
Disney.
Oh, what did they block? I don't understand. Tell me about this.
He has a SoCal pass.
Oh, he's blocked from the park. I thought you meant on Facebook.
No, well, that's
I already knew he was.
That's most of the time too.
Yeah,
I knew he was. I knew he had the cheap pass.
What'd you call him?
The cheap pass?
Yeah. Cheap pass.
Right.
Yeah. All right. He says, "I only miss the people, not the park."
That's probably a lot.
That's the same thing.
We love you, Michael.
He
But
can go
come
hang
on.
out in the
Messaged me
Esplanade
that
then.
day.
If that's true, just hang out outside and say hello to everybody as they go in and out.
Yeah, and then you can still smoke.
Go hang out in downtown Disney and
Right.
World of Disney.
There you go.
With all
Outside of the
and build the bear where you got the chance.
if you
all
circle
the
through the
smokers.
Haagen-Dazs line, you can get samples over and over again.
Ooh.
Oh, real quick. That reminds me something that we forgot to talk about in the last episode. Real fast.
Oh.
The announcement that Build-A-Bear, the writers, and the hat store would be closing to make room for some dining, whatever. So
Now, they do need more dining.
No, I got in an argument about that with somebody online because they posted something like, oh, they heard a conversation saying, oh, this place needs more things for kids to do. Downtown Disney needs more things for kids to do?
No.
With the Lego store, World of Disney, and all that. And so I put, now that I think about it, and I'm like, I'm okay with that because they need more places for kids to eat.
Real quick on that, I just want to say that I posted all that information on our Facebook page and on SoCal.
Drama online.
SoCal, and then, everyone's like, oh, they don't care, or people are just saying, oh, we need to get there and do this, whatever. Then I had someone say, if it wasn't officially announced by Disney, then don't believe it.
it was.
I said, obviously you didn't read the article because even though it was from OC Register, it did say a spokesperson from Disney, which is Susie Brown, said this. So,
and second of all, OC Register doesn't post anything without
Unless it's on the blog or unless they confirm it through the
right. Disney
spokesperson.
OC Disney does not post anything unless it's officially from Disney.
It's actually a pretty reliable source.
They're not. They're not.
It's about as reliable as it gets.
Yeah, they're not Mice Chat or Walt Disney World News today.
all right, so going on, he says, yes, I miss the boys of MousePIRE and the listeners. You guys pretty much nailed my complaints about Fantasmic and realized some new ones you guys discussed and went back to the videos.
Was that a YouTube video he watched or what?
Yes.
Nine of them.
Nine of them. Catch every
apparently.
angle.
Yes.
I found, I don't know if you heard in the podcast, I had found an 8-camera angle version of Fantasmic 1.0.
Wow, wow. That's too much time on your hand.
While
Okay.
Diggs is going through these questions, can I remind everybody that we like these emails? I know I'm fascinated with being able to answer questions and people commenting on the things that we're saying. So please write in. If you haven't before, come up with some stupid question and make us answer it.
I started writing in just because I thought it was funny to hear what they were going to answer.
Right.
Oh, definitely. mousepire@gmail.com. I've been saying ever since the beginning that I hoped that one day we would get enough fan mail where we could have like whole episodes like some podcasts do where they have whole episodes of just answering mail.
That'd be cool.
Well, we're definitely not there yet after almost 100 episodes, but hey, mousepire@gmail.com.
I mean, if we could get, legitimately, if between now and the 100th episode, if we could get like 25 good emails with decent questions that we could set up to answer on air, I think that'd be cool.
That's an episode. If they're all
That's
long.
more than an
he's
episode.
got
That's quite a few
he's got
emails.
like 8 or something here, right?
Well, true.
So we got 25 to cover like about maybe 30 or 40 minutes or something.
All right, so yeah, just like they said, you guys should be sending emails, especially the people overseas or down under, because here I see Australia's listening. I see Canada's listening. United Kingdom is listening. We even have Japan, Finland, China. Whoa, that's crazy. But of course, over here we have Texas, Colorado. Where are you guys at? Hello. We have Virginia, Utah, Nevada, Arizona. I mean, yes. Hello. Email us. Want to hear from some other people than these people in California.
MousePIRE@gmail.com.
All right, so now it's time for the Dirty Award. And the Dirty Award goes to MaxPass.
Ooh.
Already?
You paying $10 for unlimited pictures for the day, not to get more Fast Passes.
It's only been a week.
Fast Passes are still free. You paying to use the app to access a Fast Pass without walking. It's good for big guys like MousePIRE, but you lose exercise. What the hell?
I have to say that's not the point, though. The point of the thing is to you cash in your Fast Pass for Soarin', for instance, and the minute that they scan it and you go into that upper queue area inside, where you're on your phone right away before you lose signal in that building, and you're like, let's go on Space Mountain next or whatever.
Exactly. That's what I think the best thing is that before you've even ridden the ride that you're using the Max Pass for, you can already get that Max Pass and be ready for the next ride.
I don't think you could do Inner Park, though.
That's a good question.
I think you can only do the park that you're in.
Well, that's fine. If you're in line for Soarin', you get a Fast Pass for Guardians or Toy Story or Soarin'. Or
Screaming.
That one.
Toy Story, whatever. But let's put that on the list for next time. Is that we need to find out for sure how the system works between the two parks.
I'm pretty sure it's not, because I remember reading something that you couldn't do that, because people, previously, to get our steps in, Michael, we'd run back and forth from one park to the other because you could take advantage of the time system. But I don't think you can do that anymore, since I'm pretty sure you can't, because I think all the times now are all linked together. Where previously, you could get one for Buzz at any time because it wasn't connected to the system.
If you just got your thing scanned and you don't have one anymore for Soarin' or whatever, and then you want to go over to Space Mountain, you should be able to do that.
You should be able to, but I don't think you can. I think it has to be the park that you're in.
So it's going to know where you're at.
Yeah, well, yeah, you got scanned in.
Okay. So you have to exit the park and scan into a new
Disneyland
park
in order to get a Fast Pass over there. I believe that's the way that it works.
Interesting. Well, we'll find out for sure. I'm going to see if I can use it on Tuesday maybe.
All right, now it's time for questions. First question is, if Disney asked you to fix or change 5 things about anything Disney, park, ride, movie, rules, etc., what would you fix or change? I don't know. I've never...
I was going to go straight to fixing Fantasmic, but you went with all sorts of other things.
Well, I figured you'd get that one.
Well, I figured you'd do that one.
Well, no one mentioned Tomorrowland.
We get 5, right? So,
well, yeah,
Fantasmic...
Tomorrowland, fixing Tomorrowland's up there.
A visually updated Fantasmic that doesn't screw with all the music. Getting rid of Mouse for Life, the cult.
Limiting strollers and motorized wheelchairs.
Yeah, but without having to have parents carry their kids all day. So maybe some sort of backpack.
Wait. Yeah, but Disney doesn't have to give that to them.
No.
They can go to Target,
and
get.
That's where I got mine. I got my stroller.
I'd be more than happy with limiting them to just umbrella strollers. I've mentioned this before.
Yeah.
Just only umbrella strollers allowed in, or something like that. Old school stuff like what we had. Or
let me just say, I have proof. I have a picture. I was 3 years old in Disneyland. No stroller.
I just meant in general. But yeah.
I'm just saying.
I got you though with the fixing of Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
Without ruining it, but it really needs some work. And I love Tomorrowland, but come on.
I've heard people talk about
there's just not really much of it left.
Throwback, make it a throwback. If this is what we imagined 1985 would look like, and keeping it like that, this was what Walt had envisioned. So
that's the fix.
See, if you're gonna do that, bring back the 1967 Tomorrowland with the clock and the flagpoles and everything.
Or
the world clock,
or go so far into the future that it's not achievable, right? They don't have to deal with it for 250 years or something.
Well, because obviously, if they would have went as extreme as say 2001 or Star Trek or something like that. Even though we have caught up with Star Trek with a few things like pads and cell phones and stuff. But I mean, as far as like, obviously we were supposed to be on the moon.
Flying cars.
We were supposed to be flying cars by 2015, or 2015 in Back to the Future, or whether it's 2001, we were supposed to have a base on on the moon and be able to fly to Mars and stuff. I mean, we're way behind on a lot of that stuff.
We had the Nintendo 64. What do you mean?
All right, next question is, do you believe that they will ever bring back Big Thunder Barbecue or something like that in the park?
Sure. Once they realize that it's a better way for them to make money.
Rather than trying to have it be super high-priced premium food over there at Riverbell Terrace, if they want to bring it back as more of the back to the family barbecue experience that it was. Even though it was expensive, it wasn't for everybody, but
I never ate there because I couldn't justify value. Couldn't justify the cost for my kids to eat there.
Right.
They don't eat that much.
For kids, but for an adult, you get your money's worth.
Sure.
Heck yeah, when we went, we got super money's worth. I mean, his brother...
Broke the bank, baby.
His brother ate his brother ate all the corn, and nobody else wanted to have beans, and I ended up with the whole big old bucket of beans in front of me.
For the beans, me.
Hey, that'd have been fine. There was plenty for both of us.
That sausage was good. I told that guy, just keep it coming, dude.
Keep the sausage coming.
Well, here's a question for you. How many acres, or how many restaurants do you think they're going to be in 14 acres of Star Wars land?
Yeah, well, none of them are going to be barbecue.
Well, you don't know that, though, right?
They may say blue milk.
They may say, here's the barbecue restaurant.
Barbecue tauntaun and blue milk.
Hey, was that announced?
What? Barbecue tauntaun?
No. Dirty. No. How many restaurants?
No,
just a cantina.
They haven't got any details.
We got 2 rides and a cantina.
We just know a cantina, and then there's at least one food place for sure that was in that concept art from Star Wars Celebration where they had the big pod race exhaust come down.
Oh, okay.
Where it shoots down, and that's the barbecue is the big pod racer exhaust, and it kind of reminds me of one of those Asian places where you have the big flat top and they cook all the food right there on the flat top.
Some Korean barbecue.
Like fire and ice at the Garden Walk.
Sure.
All right, time for a random question. Is there a place in Disneyland or DCA that you have been, but not many people can say they've except Disney Jail for Diggs and Shadow?
I can't really answer that question without incriminating myself.
I went up the elevator in Haunted Mansion.
We've done that.
Okay, I won't incriminate myself, but I know
not
a lot of people have done that.
You just have to be with somebody handicapped.
Yeah.
To do that, yeah. But
Dream Suite. I've been in the Dream Suite.
We were in the Dream Suite before it was the Dream Suite.
Oh yeah, well, I was
gallery.
In there, yeah.
When it was the gallery.
Speaking of which, I heard the Walt's apartment now is back on.
Yes, it
Welcome
is.
Walt's footsteps tour.
I can confirm that because I did see a post about that.
So did I. I saw a couple. I know what I'm doing in a few weeks.
Has anybody watched Fantasmic from the balcony of the Disney Gallery when they used to do the dessert buffet?
Dirty Club 33, whatever.
No, it's not Club 33.
No, it was when it was free.
Back in the day, you go.
Oh yeah, that's right. When it was a gallery.
Yeah, you go line up and you go up there and watch the show without having to pay for it.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't do it free. I paid $42 or whatever.
No, we did it free for every time we went to Disneyland, we were in that line to go watch it up there. Yeah.
Just let the first 12 people up or whatever.
I think, something like that. They had the chairs, and then they realized, hey, you know what? We can charge and make a little dessert thing. And
I've almost been in a couple of literal fist fights at Disneyland. Does that count? I'll tell you more about those on Magical Memories.
Right. So the other thing
I can tell you about one of those.
Us three over here, not Dan, we can say Club 33.
Yeah,
Dirty.
Club 33.
No invite.
Where else?
I actually invited Michael that day.
And he didn't go?
He couldn't go.
Man, don't invite Michael next time. Invite me.
Yeah, I know.
Or Dan.
That's right. That's right.
I didn't know Dan then.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it was for my birthday and I invited him.
Well, another interesting place is the handicap viewing room for the submarines.
Oh, yeah, not many people do that.
That's a cool room.
Yeah, I haven't done that yet.
That's a cool room to be in, especially when it's like 110 degrees.
Like next week.
Great
I know what I'm doing.
That's a good idea.
They basically play the ride on like a 60-inch plasma for you.
We need to go do that. All right, real quick. He says that he played at Disneyland for 4 years with his high school marching band and saw so much of the backstage and stuff inside warehouses, plus inside of TikTok and Ursula from the original Fantasmic floats. That's pretty cool. I did the band thing too. I marched 4 times, and I got to see a lot of cool stuff back there.
Yeah, of course, everybody in this podcast knows that I worked at Disneyland for a couple of years, so I've seen just about every bit of backstage that there can be, including all of the backstage that doesn't exist anymore thanks to Star Wars.
What was your job title?
I was night custodial. So
sneaky.
Was it that third shift?
Yeah, third shift. Yeah. But none of it was even sneaky. I mean, because we had certain jobs where we were on like big carts and these big trucks called mules, where we would just drive around, and I had like a flatbed on the back, and we drove around the whole outskirts, picking, emptying all the exterior trash cans and stuff like that. And
that reminds me of another podcast. You ever listen to The Sweep Spot?
I've heard of it though. Yeah. Their
book's really good.
I actually wouldn't mind getting it just because of the fact that I have worked custodial at Disneyland. It's kind of something that's right there that would be near and dear to me. But yeah.
Now, Michael the Mail Guy's tip of the week.
Michael the Mail Guy's tip of the week. Get your Halloween tickets before they sell out. The cheap days will go out fast, and the second cheapest. $120 is way out of line. He says, I better spend time with the Disney female villain one-on-one for $120.
That's dirty.
For a guy that's like married with a new baby, he is really dirty.
Knott's, Magic Mountain, and Universal are always a good opportunity. Till then, this is Michael the Mail Guy saying bye.
I don't even know what he's talking about.
We don't have to know.
He wants one-on-one time with like Cruella.
With who?
A Disney villain. If he's going to spend $120, then he better get one-on-one in the castle or something.
Wait, I missed it, though. What was the $120
The Dream
for?
Suite?
The Halloween party.
Oh, the Halloween party.
So,
never mind.
My question is, with this Halloween party, they're raising the prices to deal with crowds and whatnot. There was a post in our group, Mouse Lovers 1313 today, where one of our admins actually asked and said, hey, I don't get why they're doing these price hikes again. It said something about how they've raised the price 70% just over the last 3 or 4 years or 5 years. It might have been 10, but regardless, we were having discussions in there. So my question is, let's say with the Halloween party, it's $120 for just from really 7 p.m. to midnight, right? So that's 5 hours, plus they give you the extra 3 if you get there early. What happens if those more expensive nights don't sell out? You think that they lower the price at that point? They go, that was too much?
What you mean for next year?
Next year, yeah. Or do you think they have some special to sell them?
Well, it's as I mentioned earlier when we were talking about that. I really think that if they do move the party to DCA, that they almost have to lower the prices, just because it doesn't mean they're going to do it, but you would like to say that they should lower the prices just because of the fact that it's moving over to a new place, that you're not going to get the fireworks.
Agreed.
And all the other stuff that comes with being at Disneyland and having it in Disneyland, that when it comes to going over to DCA, it's almost like anything at DCA is going to be a downgrade from it being at Disneyland.
So
Main Street Electrical Parade, well, it wasn't even Main Street Electrical Parade.
It was just Electrical Parade.
Yeah, it was just Electrical Parade. That's a downgrade. When Paint the Night goes to DCA, it's going to be a downgrade.
All right. Thank you for your email, Michael. And, of course, thank you once again, Nancy. Glad you caught up on the episodes. And anybody else has any comments, questions, your own 5 countdowns to whatever, all you have to do is email us.
MousePIRE@gmail.com.
There you go.
What you guys should do is take notes during the show and then compile those notes into questions and commentary and then just send them to us at
MousePIRE@gmail.com.
That sounds like Michael's homework.
Right. When you watch the show, if you're in a place where you can write or take on your phone, take notes. Just here's what I don't agree. I agree. These are the points I think you did a good job with. I think that guy Tim sounds like an idiot. Whatever.
Those guys eat a lot.
Yeah, those guys sure eat a lot.
I don't think Nancy thinks you sound like an idiot.
Well, Nancy's a nice lady, it seems, but I'm wondering about everyone else.
She's a pass holder, right?
Yeah, no, she was, but she's not anymore.
Not a pass hole.
We know how that goes. Actually, I don't. I've never lapsed in my passes.
I mean, I did, but that was a long time ago, before I had
Money?
Yeah. I didn't want to make it sound like I'm rich or anything, but yeah. Something like that.
Or you knew how to save $65 a month or whatever it is.
Before
payments.
Before
there
payments.
we go. There you go. That's more.
What did people do before? But that's how you get rid of the pass holders.
Well, that's why I lapsed the first time, was because I was a cast member, and then B, once I stopped being a cast member, I just couldn't afford the payments. I mean, I couldn't afford the pass after I stopped being a cast member, and then it was sometime in between that I was like, oh, they have payments now? But then I never really looked more into it. So then I finally
realized what was up.
Well, then finally I was talking to him, and then we found out that passes were going to go up 1 year in 2013, I think it was, or
and then 2014, 2015.
Or 2014 maybe.
Keep going.
And I got my pass. So,
all right. Don't forget to visit our Patreon page. Help support the podcast. Visit patreon.com/MousePIRE. Give whatever you can give. $1 is good. I'll take $1. I was going to give Michael $1, but I couldn't do that. But you know what?
Cheeseburger instead.
At Patreon, you can give just $1. So head over there. Help support the podcast. Also visit our YouTube channel. Just search MousePIRE Podcast on YouTube. Check out our videos. Subscribe. And coming soon, we will be posting our podcast on the YouTube channel. We are going to be working on that because a lot of people ask if we can do that. So, hey, we're going to do that. So you'll be able to listen on YouTube as well.
YouTube's a little easier, I think, for people to share with friends and stuff, too. Question for the fans. If you can send us some messages or some emails to
mousepire@gmail.com.
Specifically about things that we could provide for donations. Like if we had shirts or buttons or stickers and we offered like for $5 you get like a button and a sticker or something like that. Is that something that you guys would be interested in? We'd love some feedback because I can try to maybe help make some of that happen. I know Diggs can make some buttons too, and if it would help donations come in, we'd be all about it.
We do have some rewards if they contribute on Patreon, but there will be more stuff we can give out. Like if you donate $75, you will be a guest on the podcast.
Wow.
Man, look at that. You got to do it for free.
And there's other ones I can't remember right now.
Wait, that's $150 you guys owe us right now.
I kept telling him, I have a MousePIRE sticker. And
Wow.
I keep forgetting to tell him what buttons I want.
But with the stickers and stuff, they'll be added to other rewards. So, yeah, we'll be
I was
doing
just thinking
that.
it's fair if we can get some stuff
Yeah.
for people. Maybe it'll prompt them to want to donate a little more.
Corn dogs.
Ooh. Wait.
Donate corn dogs to us.
As long as you're donating the actual corn dog and not just giving me $3 to go buy a corn dog.
And also, don't forget to visit buttonsbydiggs.com. We do have that summer promotional going on. We get free shipping on any order over $14. So visit buttonsbydiggs.com, and that will go through Labor Day weekend. We're not like Disneyland, so we will go through September 4th on that. And yes.
No, I think I'll put some of my buttons. Like I said this last week, but I think I'll put some of my buttons on your Buttons by Diggs site.
Cool.
Maybe we can get some of the
Pew, pew, pew.
I only date annual pass holder message out there, or the pew pew pews. Those are good.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Not to jump forward at all, but I was telling Diggs that I wanted to run a little contest in our Mouse Lovers 1313 group, and we would like to invite all of the listeners, if they want to join the group, to take part in the contest. Specifically, we'll be giving away a Ewok plush that's discontinued. It's a sold out item. I believe that they were limited to about 5,000 pieces, so they're super cool. And we won't be doing it just once. I've got several of them, so I'm going to give them away little by little. Plus, we do a lot of other contests in the group as well. So check us out on Facebook. It's Mouse Lovers 1313. The group, not the community. There's just...
Was that Groot?
Groot? No, just the group. If you need to look at how many members, it's about... currently, it's about 4,950 or 4,970 members, something like that. But please join the group, take part in the contest, maybe win something cool. My goal is to announce the winner during the 100th episode. So if you guys join soon, yeah, you got a better chance, right?
Yeah. Sounds good to me.
Do you have a special occasion coming up? Looking to personalize your trip with a keepsake? Create customized buttons for birthdays, engagements, family vacations, even bridal parties, or just because. Check out buttonsbydiggs.com today. Buttons by Diggs. Buttons by Diggs. Remember, those are buttons, not pins.
All right, so that's going to do it for this episode of the MousePIRE Podcast. Yeah. A lot of stuff we got through. What? So we will be in the park sometime. I don't know. We can't really jump that much in the future to know when we'll be in the parks. But hey, we'll be there. And
probably at Tomorrowland Terrace.
Yes, and having some fat times and all that kind of stuff is going to be pretty cool. Especially when we talked about on the last podcast about the new menu items. So hey, we'll be over there.
Ooh, chocolate s'mores.
We didn't talk about the waffle cone with the nuggets inside of it.
No, we didn't even actually talk about did we even talk about the late night stuff?
Yeah.
The last
Oh yeah, we talked about it being there, but then
Last week,
we didn't actually talk about a
couple of items we missed.
We talked about the items, but we didn't kind of go into detail on them.
Oh.
But yeah, the waffle cone with the chicken inside, is that what you're talking about? Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah, that was the one with the blue cheese.
Coleslaw and blue cheese.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that. I remember.
Yeah, I did mention that. I'm like, wait a minute.
This was a week ago. This was a week ago.
It was only
a week ago.
A week and a couple hours ago.
A weekday.
Remember, go check that out. It's got to be some good eatings going on over there at the Galactic Grill, Tomorrowland Terrace.
Launching pad, whatever it's called.
Yes.
Well, that'd be a good name for that, the launch pad.
That's what it was called. It was called the launching pad for quite a while.
Oh.
Maybe. I don't remember.
I don't know what that's called now. Don't pay attention.
All right, don't forget to get your Mickey's Halloween party tickets. We always warn you that they will go quick, and with them raising their prices, just like Michael said, the cheaper tickets will sell out fast. So get your tickets now. They are on sale, and don't be the ones that ask every Facebook group, hey, did you guys have any tickets for this day? Because I was stupid and I forgot to buy them and blah, 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 blah.
I need one more for my aunt who's coming in from Iowa.
And she's never been to a Disneyland party before.
And this is the first time that we're going to do it.
She just got her eyesight back. I don't know. Don't be those people. Just get your tickets now. They will sell out. Trust me, it happens every year.
All right, so in case you don't remember, since we didn't mention it last week, our social medias are the best place to keep up to date with all of the goings-on with MousePIRE Crew. We are MousePIRE on Facebook. We are at MousePIRE. We are at MousePIRE on the Instagram and the Twitters.
Hey, Anthony, where are you at?
I'm at MousePIRE. Wait, no. Actually, Anthony is at Empire for Life, Empire_for_life. But yes, once again, if you guys want to know with everything that happened with D23, San Diego Comic-Con, everything in between, and all that and everything, just follow me on Twitter at Empire for Life.
I can be found on Twitter and Instagram at Danzig77, DANSZIG77.
Unless you're one of his students.
Then you can't find me.
Then you don't want to find him. This is Tim, and I can again be found in Mouse Lovers 1313 Facebook group. I'm the only Tim that's an admin in there, and I'm the only one on Facebook named Tim Fresh-1. If you live out of state, I guess we were looking at the numbers here, and there's a lot of people out of state, out of the country, and you're listening to this, and you need any items from the Disney parks. My girlfriend does personal shopping, very reliable. She can pick up anything for you. It does pin pickups weekly, and happy to get whatever you need. So check that out at Disneyland Personal Shopping by the Mouse Lovers. You can follow our cats
on
MySpace, Instagram. We have naked cats, Sphinx cats. You can follow them on Instagram. True. It's Yoda and Leia the Sphinx. YODAANDLEIATHESPHYNX.
Cool.
You can follow our cats.
Woohoo. You can follow me on Instagram, Baloo1313. Also, follow Buttons by Diggs on Instagram. There you will see when your button order is going out. Hey, you know what? I got an order for a couple buttons, and I took the pictures of the buttons, and I forgot to post them on Instagram. Anyway, hey, that happens. I'll post them anyway.
Forgets a lot of stuff.
Yes, exactly. So go over there, follow Buttons by Diggs Instagram, and me, Baloo1313 on Instagram. Don't forget to help support the podcast on patreon.com/MousePIRE, and check out our YouTube channel. check it out, subscribe, check out the videos, and like I said, we'll be posting our podcast on there coming up very soon. I think, you know what, we're actually going to start with episode 90 and go all the way up. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so you guys can check that out on our YouTube channel.
Now, I have a question about that. What will they see?
They will see our logo.
Okay.
It's just for listening.
Yes.
Okay.
Or we can put pictures of you eating.
So, as usual, those are buttons, not pins. And until next time, remember, never believe what you hear on the internet unless it involves Superman's stash. So for Oprah, the 13th Doctor, and Tim's Cats, I'm Anthony.
I'm Dan.
I'm Tim.
I'm Diggs.
Bye.
We're doomed.
This podcast is intended for entertainment and informational purposes only. Audio, sound bites, and other clips are property of their copyright holders. All original stuff is ours and property of MousePIRE.com.
Burn, baby, burn.
It's going burn. Hold on, let me. You shut up.
Or like closer.
Hold on.
I think that would have.
Stop talking. Are the best place to keep up the bloop.
Bye.
Oh. I didn't know I was going to do that. My bad.
I love Star Wars.